Bell for Jeff Alexander. We're underway from Seattle. Bell, 4 yards deep in his own end zone. Knee down, touchback. And Denver has the ball 1st and 10 at their own 20 as Bell doesn't risk coming out of the end zone. John Elway and the Denver Bronco offensive line. Perry, Juriga, Karts, Wydell, the rookie, getting the start at right guard, and Ken Lanier. The backs and receivers, John Elway, Alexander, and Humphrey playing with sore ribs. He's the rookie. Jackson, Johnson, and Clarence Kay. In passing situations, here's what happens. Alexander stays in there. Sewell comes in along with Mike Young out of UCLA at a wide receiver spot. So here's Elway and the Broncos 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. One back in the backfield right now. In motion, the tight end, Orson Mobley. Elway tries to pass it out to Mobley, and he does. A 1-yard gain out to the 21-yard line, and he's immediately hit there by Eugene Robinson, the safety, after a 1-yard gain. Here's the Seahawks front seven: Green, Nash, and Bryant. The linebackers, Woods, Como, Wyman, and Maxwell. All right, here's what happens in passing situations. Moyer comes in along with James Jefferson into the defensive backfield, and the Seahawks secondary looks like this. Harper, Hunter getting a start today, Glasgow, and Eugene Robinson, who just made the tackle on that last play. Give Mobley 2 yards, and it's 2nd down and 8. Here's the pitch. Bobby Humphrey tries to get to the corner and can't. He's run out by Tony Woods and Nesby Glasgow. And so Denver will come up 3rd down and long, Jimmy.
Well, the Seahawks have done what they've wanted to get done early in the game. That is to slow down Bobby Humphrey on the first carry. The question for Elway and this Bronco offense is, how healthy is Bobby Humphrey? A rookie coming in, banged up his ribs a week ago. He's wearing a pair of pads. He's not worn them in the past. He didn't look tentative on that play, but on the other side, there was no room for him to get any yardage.
Steve Sewell checks in for Denver. Sammy Winder is in for the Broncos. He's in the backfield now along with Elway. 4 wide receivers, 3rd down and 8. A man open, Michael Young at the 25, but they'll be well short of the 1st down as Elway threw underneath. Nesby Glasgow is over on the coverage, and a good job by Seattle's defense the first time out.
Anytime a club comes in here to play, the first series is vital for a visiting team. You can hear this crowd. The loudest stadium in America is right here at the Kingdome in Seattle.
Mike Curran is into punt now for the Broncos, averaging 42.5 yards per punt. Back deep, James Jefferson along with Eugene Robinson. Good high punt by Haran. Fair catch, Jefferson, and he makes the grab out over the 30-yard line to the 33. 41-yard punt by Haran, and the Seahawks offense will come out onto the field. Mattis, Bailey, Feasel, Millard, and Wilson, the offensive line. And the backs and receivers. Craig is in there with 2 of the best in the backfield, John L. and Kurt Warner. Clark, Blades, and the tight end Robert Tyler. In the Seahawks passing situation, or as they call it, the 4, Williams stays in there. Scansey and Jeff Chadwick, a pretty good pickup for them from the Detroit Lions. He also checks in. Filling in now with Steve Largent, 1 week away from coming back into the Seahawks offense after injuring himself on the opening day of the season. 1st and 10, Warner. Off the right side, goes out to the 39-yard line. Here's the front seven for the Broncos. Carrica, Cragen, Townsend, the linebackers, Brooks, Dennison, Mecklenburg, and Simon Fletcher with 7.5 sacks so far. And their Tiger defense, here's what happens. Carrica and Cragen stay in. The defensive backs check in. Haynes and Randy Robbins. And the Broncos secondary, highlighted by Steve Atwater, their #1 choice out of Arkansas. He leads the defense in tackles. 4-yard gain for Kurt Warner as we look at Dave Craig on 2nd down and 6 at the 39-yard line. Warner and John L. Williams in the backfield. This time they go to John L. Up near a 1st down as he bangs out over the 45 to the 46-yard line, brought down by Tyrone Braxton, and Seattle has come out running the ball effectively.
Well, against the Denver Broncos, they are #1 in the NFL right now against giving up some points and against the rush. But John L. Williams, what Chuck Knox wanted to do right off the bat is to show his team, one, that they could run against that defense and put a little bit of question into Denver's mind. John L. Williams, perhaps the best all-around back in football, he's got those great big legs, and he runs over a player to get the 1st down.
Out at the 46-yard line. Now they come near side. Warner. And And a nice play by Denver's defense's Simon Fletcher. Comes in to put the wrap on Warner, and he'll get no gain on the play. It'll be second down at 10.
No gain.
Kurt Warner in the past has been one of the best stop and start backs in football. What I mean by that, he can stop and get back into full motion right at the get-go. He's had problems with the knee. Here he doesn't have much running room inside. You see Fletcher, who's a former defensive end, now playing an outside linebacker spot, getting to Warner for a little gain. No gain, as a matter of fact.
Second down and 10 at the Seattle 46-yard line. Dave Craig looking over a three-man Denver front. And he's back for his first pass. Throws it out of the backfield. Kurt Warner spills over into Denver territory, into the Bronco bench. At the 49-yard line, Carl Mecklenburg is over on the tackle, and they'll come up third down and mid-yardage, about third and 4 or 5 yards to go. They love to use the backs receiving, especially John L. Williams. Of course, this time it's Warner.
John L. Williams is a leading pass receiver on this team. This time he goes down to the left side to Warner out of the flat. Zone coverage, that's what Denver is going to give this team most of the afternoon. And Dave Craig is going to try to take advantage of it by hitting his backs in the flat as he did there with Warner.
Let's see what he does. Third down and 4 out of the shotgun for the first time today. Paul Scansey down the line in motion. A lot of time. He completes it to Blades. The question is, where will they mark the ball? Did he get the first down? He's going to get a pretty good mark, Jimmy.
He got a very generous mark on this. He was coming back to the football, and the official is going to give him the mark upfield. It looks like it'll be enough for a first down.
Or at least very close. The referee, Johnny Greer, is calling in the tight end right now. He's actually playing offensive line, but reports in as a tight end. And they also bring in Robert Tyler and Travis McNeil. Fourth down. They've got the first down. And a lot more for Kurt Warner. 21 yards. Boy, what a great call to get Warner on that left corner.
Seattle goes over the left side. Mattis, number 70. Edwin Bailey, number 65, also getting a good block. And once they missed the tackle at the line of scrimmage, Dennis Smith, the safety, got caught up inside. It's Warner to the outside. Let's take a look at the line blocking again. Inside, good block by John L. Williams, helping out on the tackle, and that's front Warner around the corner.
High formation in the pitch play on first down. Warner again. And he runs for a couple of yards into the arms of Tyrone Braxton. Dan Reeves told us yesterday he's very pleased with the way his corners have played against the run. Their defense has played all around super against the run, but their corners, and he mentioned this, Jimmy, come up and really pop you. And, of course, that's the big word in the Bronco defensive scheme is hitting.
Well, a big difference between now with Wade Phillips as the coordinator as opposed to Joe Collier. A year ago, under Collier, it was a more complicated defensive system. They read and reacted quite a bit. They had to make a lot of adjustments on the field. And now, under Wade Phillips, it's simply get upfield, get after the ball, don't make any decisions, just beat the man in front of you.
2 yards for Warner. And it's 2nd and 8. The ball is at the 22 of Denver. No score. First possession for the Seahawks. They fake the pitch and then give it up the middle, and it goes to the fullback, John L. Williams, inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line. Tackle on the play by Carl Mecklenburg. So it will be third down again coming up for Seattle. Third down about 5. 3rd and 4, actually, from the 18.
And John L. Williams is the man the Broncos will be looking for in this situation. He catches most of his passes on these third and short situations. The number 1 receiver for David Craig. And so in normal times, you would forget about a fullback and a nickel passing down, but not when you're playing against Seattle. He's the man the Broncos are looking for.
Third down and 4. Big play again from the 18-yard line. Trying to keep the drive going. Craig shotgun with John L. in the backfield with him. Wide open, Scansey. Trying to get in, they'll mark him short at the 1-yard line. Paul Scansey, a 17-yard pickup, and it's 1st and goal. And they love 82 here in the Kingdom.
He went to high school in this area, went to the University of Washington. Here, the Seahawks clear out the middle of the field. Good job by David Craig. They had the blitz coming from the outside. That's why you see the man-to-man coverage over the middle, allowing Scansey to get real close to the end zone here. But it was a gamble on the part of Denver. They blitzed the safety, left Scansey man-to-man over the middle.
1st and goal inside the 1. Warner. And he gets cut down from the outside. Dennis Smith up to make the hit. Great play by Dennis Smith, and also helping out the linebacker Michael Brooks. So that's a tough way to start a first down and goal situation, to lose 3 back to the 4.
Dennis Smith, top part of your screen, beats the tackle, pushes him into the backfield actually, and then gets in to make the play on the ball carrier. That's an all-pro type play by number 49, Dennis Smith.
They took on the rookie 66, Andy Heck, out of Notre Dame, the top draft choice for Seattle, and Heck loses that battle. Second down and goal at the 4-yard line. Back split. And they'll give it to John L. Williams. Touchdown!
There's Smith again, turning the play to the inside. He does his job, but it's the people from the middle who've got to come over and make this play. You see Mecklenburg getting pushed aside, and John L. coming in. Take a look at it again. Left part of your screen, number 49, Dennis Smith, turns the play back in, but now the mop-up people from the inside, it's Mecklenburg who gets pushed out of the way, and John L. has a touchdown.
Norm Johnson out of the hold of Jeff Kemp for the extra point. It's good. And Seattle jumps out 7-0 on their first possession. We'll be back to the Kingdom. 7:37 left to go in the first quarter. 5 yards. John L. Williams banged in for Seattle from 4 yards out. And the Seahawks lead 7-0 as Norm Johnson puts it up in the air. Ken Bell will take it at his 8-yard line. Good run back out to the 29-yard line. Melvin Jenkins is in on the tackle for the Seahawks, as Bell brings it out near the 29. So here comes Elway
20-yard kickoff return,
and the Denver Broncos for their second crack at this Seahawk defense.
Rufus Porter, in case you're not familiar with him, every player in the league is number 97, an all-pro player a year ago as a special teamer. He never stops. He never stops on a practice field. He never stops running on the real playing field. And as we watch him both on special teams and as a player on third down, he will sometimes get after the quarterback and make the play downfield on a receiver. He's an amazing man to watch.
Bobby Humphrey finds some room and goes out over the 30 near the 35-yard line. Tackled by Eugene Robinson and Patrick Hunter up to make the tackle. When talking with Bobby Humphrey yesterday about the sore ribs, he said, boy, earlier in the week, it was hurting just to breathe.
He said he couldn't laugh, he couldn't breathe, and Dan Reed said, well, he's only 23 years old. Maybe he'll get better later in the week, and he sure did. They first gave him a set of pads for those ribs that were a little bit too big. He had trouble hanging onto the ball that way. They've got him a smaller pair, and so far it doesn't seem to be bothering him. There's a look at the pads that he has on this afternoon. A small pair of pads that go around the rib area to protect him.
Well, he got 6 on first down, and it's second down and 4, and they give the ball off to Jeff Alexander, and Jacob Green got a helmet on him and knocked him down for a short gain. Jacob Green, 79 for the Seahawks, flew in there and put the hit on Jeff Alexander, who's been a good acquisition for the Broncos as you look at Green running out of that fullback spot.
We talked to Bobby Humphrey yesterday about Jeff Alexander. Alexander is basically a blocking back, 235 pounds, and I said to him, what do you think about Alexander? He said, oh, I like him. I like him.
Third down short, 3rd and 2 at the 37-yard line. Elway shotgun formation. There's Alexander, and what he's done on the season is he checks out on this third down play. Winder, short of the first down. The Seahawks read that one like a book. Hunter is in on the tackle. Wyman's there too, along with James Jefferson. And Seattle's defense has shut out Elway on his first 2 possessions.
Well, the Broncos have a couple of young people playing on their offensive line. Gerald Perry, number 60, the right part of your screen, actually second-year player. And they just don't get it done up front. They have 3 different starters on their offensive line this year than they had a year ago.
Horan's second punt. His first one was 41 yards. Jefferson takes it. Fair catch called for inside the 20. A second good punt, 49 yards. Elway trying to find the answers right now. The Seahawks lead early. Kingdom in Seattle. Seattle's second possession of the afternoon. They took the first one in for a touchdown on a 4-yard run by John L. Williams and lead 7-0 as they start from their 19 after a second Denver punt on the afternoon. Warner Finds a crease and goes out near the 30-yard line.
Tyron Braxton running down. Gain of 9.
And we want to welcome those of you who've been watching the Pittsburgh at Houston game as the Oilers win big. Our score right now here at the Kingdome. Seattle leading over Denver 7-0. Jim Donovan and Jimmy Cephalo along with you. 5:03 left to go here in the first quarter. Seattle scored on a 4-yard touchdown run by John L. Williams. Denver's 0 for 2 offensively. And we have a measurement right now after a first-yard run.
Big thighs. He looks almost deformed if you see him in regular pants. He has longer arms than normal, bigger hands than a normal human being. And because of that, he's got great ability to fend people off with his hands as a blocker, stiff arm him as a runner, and pull upfield with those big thighs.
Gain of 1 on that play. Second down and 9. 4:01 left first quarter. 7-0 Seattle. Sidearm toss underneath, and Warner cannot hang on with Mecklenburg in on the coverage. As Craig kind of came from underneath, he looked like a submarine pitcher in baseball throwing underneath on that one.
Well, Craig he does not get the credit he deserves. When you look at his statistics over the past few years here in Seattle, over the past 4 years in the NFL, he has thrown the 3rd largest amount of touchdowns in the league, right behind Elway and Esiason. How can you fault the guy? Now he goes sidearm because he had to. The rush is in front of his face, but he's the kind of guy who will get it done a lot of ways. He can scramble back there, got a strong arm downfield, and as you see, he can improvise as well.
Shotgun formation on 3rd and 9. High snap, he handled it though. Down the middle, and he tried to get it to Brian Blades, and it's incomplete. On the coverage was Kip Corrington.
Kip Corrington on the coverage.
Out of Texas A&M. Blades down the middle at about the Denver 40-yard line. Couldn't come up with the ball. There were a lot of white shirts around there on that play.
Well, this is a well-thrown ball, though. It's dangerous, but he gets the ball over the front linebackers and in between the safety, and actually hits him on the hands. It's a tough catch, but you know, when they go into the locker room on Monday and they look at the film, they'll say, hey, Brian, you got to drop on that one, babe. And it's ridiculous, and all you can do is smile at a coach and say, how do you expect me to come up with that?
You know, it looked like he peeked out of the corner of his eye at Dennis Smith, who was coming over.
What, you'll peek out the corner of your eye at Dennis Smith?
I was peeking, too, for him. First punt of the day for Rodriguez, and Rubin hits it. A knuckleballer coming down. Bell hangs onto it, and out over the 35 to the 37-yard line. 33-yard punt, and Denver shuts down Seattle that time, and we'll see if they can get on the board when we come back. Special team.
Yeah, he really is. But look, they double team him with Braxton, number 34. And on the other side, they get him with Carrington, number 29. But he's the guy who never stops until the play is over. And he'll get double teamed throughout the afternoon, both as a pass rusher on 3rd downs and as a performer on special teams.
Good field position now for Denver, starting out over their own 35 at the 37. They trail 7-0. We have 3:45 left here in the first quarter. Alexander and Humphrey make up the backfield. A lot of time. Elway looking for his tight end Mobley, and he was covered on the play by Melvin Jenkins. That's pocket that time around. As Alexander limped off the field, that would be a big loss for them. That good blocking fullback. And there's Jeff Alexander sitting it out, obviously in some pain right now. Second down, 10. That's the first Elway miss on the day. He's now 2 for 3. A rollout for the first time. Down the middle, and it's incomplete, as he throws it over the head of Melvin Bratton at the midfield stripe. So it's 3rd down and long.
And John Elway is suffering through perhaps the most difficult portion of his professional career outside of that first couple of games when he came in as a rookie. He has been inconsistent. He has thrown a lot of low ball fastballs. This time he happens to be a bit high with it. But you see his mobility. He still sets his feet as well as anybody. But he is 27th in the NFL in passing. And as many films as I've watched of him over the past couple of weeks, it's tough to put your finger on just why he's not been successful.
And Herrera wins a win. Elway trying to get a win here today. 5-1 the Broncos, 3-3 Seahawks, and John L. Williams to the run. And a great play on first down inside the 35 of Denver, brought down by Steve Atwater, the free safety, coming up to make the tackle. Let's go around the NFL. Sunday number 7. The Eagles win. Incidentally, in the Green Bay-Miami game, the rookie Pete Stoyanovich kicked the field goal with 6 seconds left, and Miami wins. Buffalo easy, and so was Houston's game. And Minnesota got a touchdown from Herschel Walker as they win. Kansas City hangs on, and Washington does at home. New Orleans by 10 over the Rams now. The Rams lost on Monday night. Giants lead, and Phoenix big over Atlanta. 7-0 here on a John L. Williams touchdown run of 4 yards. Kurt Warner. Loose football. There's a flag down, and Dennis Smith has the football back at the Denver 20. But there is a flag down back at the 34-yard line.
Dennis Smith in the recovery.
Johnny Greer checking it out. Dennison telling you that it's probably against Seattle.
Holding. 54 offense. It's declined. First down.
Big turnover as Seattle had great field position after the short punt, Jimmy, and they just give it away.
Grant Fiesel, middle of your screen, number 54. He's the one called for the hold, but that's not the important part. The ball slips out on Kurt Warner. It really didn't look as if anybody pulled it out. It just shot out from the backside. Let's take another look and see if we can't find exactly how it came out.
Dennison made the hit on the collar, but as Jimmy said, his helmet or nothing like that got on the ball.
And how about this Dennis Smith? A week ago, he recovers 2 fumbles and forces 1, blocks a field goal. Today already, he recovers another one.
So Denver gets the ball. In motion is Melvin Bratton. He's in there for the injured fullback Alexander, and Bobby Humphrey carries out near the 25-yard line. Brought down by Nesby Glasgow and David Wyman, the inside linebacker.
36, Dallas 28.
There's Dennis Smith. He also came up with an interception last week, which was his first of the season, and broke a long slump for him. And he said after the ball game that he was starting to press a little bit, that he couldn't come up with the interception.
Well, he didn't have an interception in all of 1988, so it went all the way back to 1987. And as we mentioned, he's always around the football, so it was a great surprise to everyone.
2nd down and 5. Sammy Winder checks into the backfield along with Humphrey. Elway, a deflected ball, a flag goes down, and Humphrey cannot hang on as Eugene Robinson put the lick on him out of the deal with. So in a best 2 out of 3 fall match, Harry gets the first ball right there. 2nd down and 15 after the penalty. 1:33 to go in the quarter. 6 defensive backs check in now for the Seahawks. Loose football on the floor. Jacob Green covers up on Elway, who goes down and picks up the football after the loose exchange. So Keith Karts and Elway cannot connect on the center snap. And thus you almost had a big turnover.
Well, if this game goes the way the season has gone between them, it looks like Elway began to pull out just a little bit too soon there on Karts, but he gets it back for the Broncos. If this game goes anyway like the season has for the Broncos, they have to establish the running attack because their passing game simply has not been there. And when they have to throw on 3rd and 20, they've been in a lot of problems.
So now the 12th man enters into the game. The crowd on 3rd and 18. Across the middle, and it is caught out at the 25 to the 26-yard line. Dwayne Harper comes in and puts the hit on Michael Young, who makes the catch, but they are well shy of the first down by about 5 yards, and so Mike Curran must come in and punt again.
Let's take a look at it. This is a planned rollout with Elway to get him a little bit more time. We mentioned the trouble they're having with Porter. That's the reason they roll him out. Young finds the hole in the middle of the zone, but what Seattle did was just wait back at that 20-yard mark. They knew they could give up the short pass.
Rufus Porter almost blocked the Haran punt. And there you see the ball down at the 42-yard line. I mean, Porter comes very close to getting the football. A 29-yard punt. Haran's last 2 punts have been horrendous. A little play on the H's right there, Jimmy. There's Porter. He is disgusted with himself. He came very, very close.
Outside rushing linebacker.
He wants to get in touch with his high school coach, Roman Bates, right? Because he owes it all to him, he said. Back in Baton Rouge. On 1st down, here's Kurt Warner. And the Seahawks once again very effective running on 1st down as he goes into Seahawk territory, into Bronco territory inside the 50 at the 48-yard line.
And that has been the key all day. They've been running well on 1st down. And the Broncos have got to come up and stop the 1st down running if they're going to be successful here. It's Seattle 7-0 over Denver.
Now, Inspector Cephalo. 2nd down, 2nd quarter underway. Here's John L. Williams. And he's up near a 1st down into Denver territory at the 45 down to the 44-yard line. The 1st quarter numbers will not show very good numbers for the Broncos offensively, like right off the top there.
Abysmal for John Elway and the Broncos. They've not got anything done. The passing yardage, Elway all year long has been poor in that category. They're 27th in the league in passing. But it's the rushing yardage that they're concerned with here today, because Bobby Humphrey has kept this team alive over the past few weeks with his running ability, and they're not getting it done this afternoon.
7-0 Seattle. They got the first down on the run by John L. Williams inside the 45. Paul Scansey in motion. Pitch out. Warner back to Craig. Now downfield for Blades. Overthrown. A little bit of fun football here at the Kingdome.
Ryan Blades, the intended receiver. Steve Atwater, the coverage.
So razzle-dazzle for the first time today, and Craig and Warner and Blades couldn't make it click.
Well, again, it's that gambling thought that we mentioned before. This is known as the flea flicker. And actually, Craig gets the ball up, but Blades, it was thrown over his wrong shoulder. Blades had to turn one way and back to the other side. Atwater, the rookie, number 27, does a good job of getting back there.
Second down at 10, ball still at the 45-yard line. Boy, Seattle's had great field position here in the first half, and still, they only have 7 points. Big fumble by Kurt Warner the last time they had the ball. Second down at 10. Munford on a blitz. Craig got away. Warner. Great catch to the 21. Great ability to keep his feet in bounds.
Not only great ability by Warner, but it's David Craig who's stuck in the middle of the pocket. As he gets outside, he motions to Warner to get downfield, and he makes the great catch, gets his feet in bounds, and gets a 23-yard pickup.
Craig got away from the blitzing linebacker, Munford, who was coming, and Craig saw him and spilled to the sideline. Now Seattle's got it first and 10 at the Denver 21.
Take a look at it. Munford from the inside, and then Craig shows his ability to get out of the pocket and leads Warner just the right amount downfield.
Jeff Chadwick checks in as wide receiver, 3 in the game now for Seattle. Craig's got a lot of room, fires. Oh boy, in the middle of a whole bunch of traffic, Blades makes the catch at the 5-yard line. A 17-yard pickup, and it's first and goal.
Someone made a mistake, and that's exactly what Craig is saying. Scansey, number 82, is right in the middle of the field, and so is Brian Blades. Watch them. They come from opposite sides, but wind up at the same location. That's the reason for all the traffic in the middle. The Seahawks are lucky they don't get this thing intercepted. Scansey makes the move back to the corner and then comes across the field, and he either came too far across or Blades did. Nonetheless, it turns out to be a big first down for Seattle at the 5-yard line.
Simon Fletcher was down there on the tackle. First and goal at the 5. Travis McNeil, a tight end in motion. John L. Williams. Good pursuit by the Denver defense all the way around. Michael Brooks made the hit.
Scott Curtis brought him down.
As he drives him out of bounds, and so it will be second down and goal, and they actually lose a yard back to the 6-yard line.
Watch the block of Kurt Warner, number 28. I think he's going to get it on Scott Curtis, number 50. It gets him down, but it's the pursuit coming from the inside by Denver that makes the play on Williams on the sideline.
So they're back at the 6-yard line now. Second down and goal, 12:21 remaining here in the first half. Seattle leading 7-0. And knocking on the door to add to that lead. Warner out of the backfield in motion. Craig looking for Warner. Incomplete. Good coverage by Wyman Henderson on the play, but Warner looked a little bit puzzled that the ball was coming his way anyway.
Yeah, I think Craig is a little mad at himself. That was one of the most dangerous passes you'll see David Craig throw as we take a look at the 10-minute ticker again.
Buffalo rolls along, Houston does too, and Minnesota wins. Over Detroit, Kansas City, and Washington.
Third and goal.
New England jumps out with Steve Grogan starting at quarterback today. New Orleans leads over the Rams 10-7. The Giants and Phoenix, your other leaders. And it's third down and goal here from the 6. Seattle up 7-0 over Denver. Here's Craig. Williams, touchdown! His second of the day.
In our conversation with Wade Phillips yesterday, he said, on third down, we've got to get John L. Williams covered. Here, they make the mistake. They got him one-on-one with a defensive back. That's Atwater, number 27. And Williams beats him across the middle for the touchdown. Take a look at him. Right part of your screen, there's Williams. One-on-one against Atwater. Makes the move to the inside and beats him back to the out. And Wade Phillips was right on target. They got to get him covered.
Oh, almost had a bad snap there. In fact, we did have a bad snap and an excellent job of getting the ball done by Jeff Kemp to get it down for Norm Johnson. John L. Williams with 2 touchdowns, and Seattle in a must-win situation is winning right now.
This is the best he's ever seen at it. Not on that play, however.
Norm Johnson kicks it away. Ken Bell takes it at his own 2. Denver down 14-0. Oh, right over to the 15-yard line at the 17. Rufus Porter is in on the tackle for the Seahawks. We'll step out right now, go to New York, and NFL 2 John L. Williams touchdowns, one by land and one through the air. Ball out over the 15-yard line. Orson Mobley in motion for Denver. Elway steps up and coming back to make the catch is Vance Johnson out over the 25-yard line to the 24. Let's go back now on that kickoff and watch the play of Rufus Porter.
The Pro Bowler on the special teams. Take a look at him. He gets double teamed throughout. Number 97, middle of your screen. One person hits him. That's one. He stays on his feet. And he comes around from the backside to make the play on number 35, Ken Bell. Usually there are more than one people that run into Rufus Porter on a given play.
Sammy Winder is in the backfield now for the Broncos. 2nd down and 4 after a 6-yard pickup on 1st down. Elway fires and Clarence Kay makes the catch out at the 30-yard line. That's good for a Denver 1st down. Darren Como is on the tackle. Kay, Mobley, and Kelly, the 3 Bronco tight ends, are all really the same way. They're so tall.
And the man who is back involved with this Denver offense is Mike Shanahan, the second gentleman seated to the right.
He's the one that has the hand up to the face.
Right, the gentleman who was fired by the Raiders early October came back to Denver. Dan Reeves, talking to him yesterday, said he talked to all of his coaches. They all agreed that Mike was a big part of this team, and they brought him back.
Bobby Humphrey goes nowhere, runs into the arms of David Wyman, the inside linebacker. Incidentally, on that play before this run by Humphrey, that was Denver's first down of the game.
Also, Mike Shanahan has had a terrific relationship with John Elway through the years. And one of the reasons they brought him back is to act as a buffer between Reeves and Elway. That's not to say that Reeves cannot accomplish that feat. If you go back to Dallas, when Dan Reeves was an assistant there, he was the buffer to the quarterbacks for Tom Landry. It's just the positioning of an assistant coach. He can have a better relationship with a player than can a head man.
Mobley in motion, 2nd down and 10. Jacob Green coming from the outside. Tip ball up for grabs, incomplete. Oh, did Jacob Green wipe out Elway? And the crowd applauds the Seahawk defense.
Jacob Green has 78 career sacks. That's the kind of pass rusher he is. He beats Lanier, number 76, to the outside. Oh, and just levels John Elway. Elway lucky to get up and healthy after that hit.
So it's 3rd down and 10 from the 31. Let's see if Seattle really pins their ears back and come on this play. 4 wide receivers in now. Elway can't hear. He's looking back at the referee, who is holding his arm up. Let's listen to Johnny Greer. For the first time today, now the clock ran down on Elway, but of course he was looking back at the referee Greer, who was holding his arm in the air.
Now, as loud as this stadium is, this year, since the new rule has been put in place, this crowd has never been called.
No foul. No foul. 3rd down.
This crowd has never been called for being too loud. And in all stadiums that you would imagine, this is the stadium that is the loudest in the league.
In fact, look at what Fred Smerlas said about this crowd here in the Kingdom. You wish you had a fire hose so you could shut them up. A little bit strong, I feel, by Fred Smerlas. There's the warning from the official. Now, he was holding his arm up. Had he pointed at Elway, that would have meant that John would have had to run the play, right?
That's exactly right. And Chuck Knox on the sideline, if I'm a lip reader, I think he said, let him play, ump.
Elway now gets the official to point at him and says, run the play. He's looking at him again. Johnny Greer says, run the play. Incidentally, it's 3rd and 10. He gets away. Again, but not that time. Porter got him.
Rufus Porter gets knocked down on this play. He gets blocked twice and still makes the sack. Take a look at him. 97. Coming from the left part of your screen, he gets run around once. He gets up and blocked again, and guess who makes the sack? It's number 97, Rufus Porter, an amazing player.
It's the 5th punt of the game for Mike Horan. High punt. James Jefferson calls for a fair catch, and over the shoulder, boy, he ran around that one a little bit at the 30-yard line. A 41-yard punt by Horan. Dan Reeves is ranting on the sideline. We'll be back in that play on 3rd down when he couldn't hear. It was a heated discussion while we were away on commercial. Elway is reading his case, but then there's Johnny Greer and Reeves. Seattle with the ball, leading 14-0. 9:31 left to go, first half. From Seattle's Kingdom, he had, I believe, the nose tackle. And there you have it on Sunday number 7. And right here, it's 14-0. Seattle. Here's Kurt Warner's short gain up to the 40-yard line. NFL Live update. Let's go to Bob Cott at 2 now for Seattle with Warner and John L. Williams in the backfield. The ball is at the 39-yard line of Seattle. John L. Williams sweeping. And he'll get the first down out near the 44 of Seattle and over by the Seahawk bench.
And Seattle continues to run well on first down. They leave them with the 2nd and 3 coming out of the gun. And what you look for by Wade Phillips and the defensive people from the Denver club is to blitz a little bit on first down. Maybe stick Atwater up in the middle, or the other safety coming from the side. Dennis Smith could try to stuff up that front because it is
1,000-mile protection.
First home win here today of the season. And again, on first down, they find a pretty good hole off that right side as John L. Williams goes out over the 48. Coming into today's game, they were 0-2 here at the Kingdom. That's very un-Seattle-like.
Well, they've never been 0-3 during the Chuck Knox years, and so they're trying to avoid that again today. You can see the domination of Seattle. Just one first down for Denver.
10-1 right there, 14-0 on the scoreboard. Elway's offense has been completely shut down today. 2nd down and 5. 5 yards on that first down run by John L. Williams. Scansey in a wide receiver spot. They try Warner this time. There's a late flag going down as Kirk now for Seattle. Scansey in motion. 2nd down, inches. And the Warner flop goes for a first down. He scored on a touchdown last week like that in San Diego after about 3 of those, though. In fact, they got stopped on a 4th down on a dive by Warner, but San Diego had a penalty called on them, and so he got another crack and then went in. Here it is, his first of the afternoon. Good extension.
Gets submarine from right from the beginning. Actually, there was penetration inside of the Seattle line, and that's the reason why he gets clipped at the line of scrimmage and does not get a lot of distance on his lead.
6:20 to go in the half. They move the sticks. Seahawks have it at the 44 of Denver. Craig looking down the sideline for Blades. Tries to come back and make the catch on Braxton. There is no flag thrown at the 2-yard line. Well, it will be interesting to watch this one.
Well, it's Dave Craig who underthrows the ball because Blades had beaten Braxton down the sideline. Let's see if he gets pressure. He does from Fletcher, number 73, coming across. But you can see he's got a step on him. Now, that is not face guarding. I'll tell you why. As we take a look at Fletcher coming inside, the tight end releases. It's Warner who misses him, and that's the reason for the underthrow. Face guarding is only when a defensive back waves both hands in front of a receiver. Braxton did not do it on the play, and so there should not have been a call.
As you see, 2nd down and 10. Craig steps up, fires for Lewis Clark. Down at the Denver 25-yard line, a 20-yard pass play and a first down.
This is a tremendous throw by Dave Craig. This is called a double zone by Denver's defense. They have a short man and a deep man. Henderson, number 24, is short.
Seattle threatening again now at the 25 of Denver. John L. Williams. Good cutback. Down to the 19-yard line, and he'll get 6 on that play before Simon Fletcher brings him down. Beautiful read by John L. Williams.
As I said earlier, he's not just a good fullback. He's a good blocker, a great receiver, runs well with the football, but he's also perhaps the best all-around back in football. This is the reason for it. You don't expect a fullback to be able to have this kind of vision to find the cutback against the defense. John L. Williams has it.
Second down and 5. Ball is at the 19-yard line. And this time they go to Warner. And he gets tripped up in the backfield. Greg Cragen, the nose tackle, got a hand on him, and that started Warner on his way down, so he'll get no gain on the play. Yes, they'll give him a gain of 1 down to the 18-yard line, and it will be 3rd down and 4.
Now, the two people that you got to watch out for if you're playing Seattle, John L. Williams on third and middle distance, about 4 or 5, and also Scancy, who they like across the middle.
He is their Mr. Third Down.
And that's what's going on. Wade Phillips, the defensive coordinator at Denver, playing a little mind game, trying to cover those two people, forcing Craig to go to somebody else.
4 wide receivers in now for Seattle. Wade starts in motion. 3rd down and 4. There's Scancy, a tough catch for him, and he can't come down with the ball as Haynes is in on the coverage. All right, it's time for an update. Let's go to
3. Jim?
All right, thank you, Bob. Seattle has a big miscue on a field goal attempt of 36 yards by Norm Johnson. Jeff Kemp never saw the snap. He was looking back at Johnson. Seattle snapped the ball and hit Kemp in the face guard. Watch what happens here. He wasn't expecting the snap. Denver comes up with the football, and Seattle gives 3 points away. We'll be back to the Kingdom. What happened?
Kemp was not ready for the snap by Grant Fiesel, and Fiesel's got to look back and wait for the signal by Kemp before the ball is snapped.
So Denver gets the ball out over the 20-yard line on 1st down. Elway's back. Jacob Green right on him, and a drop right there as Clarence Kay does not hang on to the football, and John Elway is just having a tough afternoon, although it appears as though Kay should have had that one. There's the fullback, Jeff Alexander, who went out early in the game. Now they've put kind of a walking cast on there. As he heads to the locker room, he's done for the day.
And that is one of the problems Denver is having this afternoon. He's the big blocking fullback who's paved the way for Humphrey and Winder for most of this year. And without the big blocking fullback, they're not opening anything up in front.
Alexander to the locker room, back out on the field. His teammates face 2nd down and 10. Paul Moyer charges up to the line of scrimmage. Elway fires, incomplete. I think that Jeff Bryant got his hand and knocked the ball off to the right side, and he did. Denver has 33 yards total offense right now.
And you can begin to see the frustration in the eyes of John Elway. He's not been able to establish a running attack. His offensive line has deserted him on the passing game. And here he gets one ball knocked down by number 77, Jeff Bryant.
Well, he'll really hear it from the crowd now on 3rd down and 10. It was in this area of the ballpark in the Kingdom that he couldn't hear the last time, but was told to run the play by the referee, Johnny Greer. Not too bad this time, but that's going to be very bad as Porter can't put him down. Elway throws, and it turns into a big play as Orson Mobley makes the catch and takes it down to the Seattle 44 from disaster to a goldmine play. I mean, Rufus Porter had him ready to put him down.
Well, Porter, no one touches Porter again on this play. They've got to start double teaming him. He was just as surprised that no one touched him as Elway was. Now on the other side, it's Orson Mobley who ran a short pattern that moves up the field for 36 yards. They doubled their total output for the day.
The first big play and the first break for Denver today. Johnson in motion. 1st and 10. Elway quickly fires. Almost picked off. Melvin Jenkins got in there and almost came up with the interception.
Melvin Jenkins moved into the starting lineup today in place of Dwayne Harper, who had a tough time a week ago against San Diego. And he proves his worth here, reading the eyes of John Elway. A dangerous pass, but good closing time on the part of Jenkins, number 24. And really had the interception going the other way. Take a look at Nash right at the end, getting a knee of John Elway, forcing the throw a little quicker than he wanted to.
All right, we're down to 2:43 left in the first half. Steve Sewell is in the backfield now with Elway out of the shotgun. 4 wide receivers in. 2nd down. Elway throws. A drop right there. Orson Mobley or Clarence Kay. Mobley could not come up with the football as he had it right in his hands at the 30.
I'll tell you what we have to start looking for. Gerald Perry, number 60, the offensive left tackle for Denver, is just having a fit with Rufus Porter. Porter keeps going up the field. Watch for him on one occasion to fake up the field and come underneath. There you see right part of your screen. He's pushing him wide, but after a while, it'll be Porter who'll take a step, come underneath, and John Elway had better be ready to throw it quickly.
Boy, Mobley's got to come up with that catch. 3rd down and 10. Flag is down. Elway ad-libbing. Out of the backfield. The ball is caught. Sewell's got it. At the 36. Remember, there's a flag down now. And you will participate in that function with me.
And I have a feeling that Rufus Porter might participate in that function as well, the way he's playing.
Right now, our early exit polls show that he is ahead in the voting. 3rd down and 5 after the penalty. 38-yard line. 2:27 left. First half, 14-0. Seattle. Elway again in traffic. But a fine catch by Steve Sewell. Sewell in heavy traffic hangs onto the football, close to a first down. In fact, Johnny Greer says you got the first down.
And the Broncos are going to try to get a play in before this 2-minute warning. They'll have to hustle, though.
I don't think so. They're huddling up. They're not going to get it off. It's going to come down to 2 minutes left to go in the half. As you look at David Treadwell, who's only missed 1 field goal so far this year. He's 12 for 13. And it is time for the 2-minute warning. The Broncos showing a bit of life. And they need some, down by 14-0 over Denver. All the scores and highlights coming up at halftime with Bob Costas, O.J. Simpson, and they'll have more on the World Series story, which is a major one now, as you have the World Series being pushed back even more. Hopefully they'll play Friday. They were going to try and get Game 3 underway Tuesday at Candlestick Park. They'll try Friday again at Candlestick Park, plus the Bill Walsh profile. All at halftime. 2 minutes to go, first half. Here in Seattle's Kingdom, Seahawks lead 14-0, Denver's deepest penetration. Elway rolling around, a lot of time, look out, getting a rush. Coming in there was Vernon Maxwell, the right outside linebacker, and Elway had to get rid of the ball. He simply didn't have anybody to throw to on that play.
One of the reasons, Rufus Porter is putting such pressure on this team, they're leaving the backs in to try to help out with him. And Elway only had 2 receivers downfield into the pattern. No one to throw to. He had to toss it away. But that's the effect that a Rufus Porter can have on an offense. He's forcing them to keep the tight end and the backs in.
2nd down and 10. Now Elway has 2 in the backfield with him. Out of the shotgun. Incomplete. Orson Mobley was the intended receiver at the 20-yard line. He had 2 men on him there as Paul Moyer was over there, along with Nesby Glasgow and Melvin Jenkins. Actually 3 defenders there. Mobley looked a bit surprised that the ball came his way. He kind of flinched.
Well, it was thrown well by John Elway, though. It kind of whizzed right past his ear. Take a look at it. In traffic, but that's a pass that at least Mobley's got to get his hand on and knock it down. You can't let it fly by you, and that's an interception waiting to happen.
Mobley has had a tough first half.
Sure has.
Elway 7 for 16, 75 yards. Big play, 3rd and 10. Oh, it looks like once again Gerald Perry, the left tackle, released early, and that is the Rufus Porter factor, if that is indeed the call. He's got happy feet from that tackle spot.
What do you think Perry's going to dream about tonight? If it were me, I'd dream about number 97 flashing against some monster trying to beat me up, because that's what's happening this afternoon.
Yeah, that's the call. It's on Perry.
This is a psychological game now. Take a look at it. Bottom part of your screen, number 60. That's Perry looking back. He's hoping to say, please run that play the other way, and it's too late because Porter is affecting his mind as well as his game.
So the 5 yards pins them back at the 37-yard line. 3rd and 15. Rufus Porter getting ready in the starting blocks to try and get at Elway. Big rush. Goodbye. Give it to Jeff Bryant, the 3rd time today. Elway's been sacked.
And the reason Bryant was able to get inside is because the Broncos decided to try to help on Porter. See, right part of your screen, they put Winder over there. There's nobody to help inside, and Bryant gets in for the sack. Left part of your screen, Winder 23. Helping on Porter on the outside. That leaves the guard inside all alone. And Juriga gets beat across by Bryant.
So a penalty and a sack takes them right out of field goal range after they were showing some life and moving. And Mike Horan is into punt. Patrick Hunter almost got a hand on that one as Horan hits him down at the 15, and then it bounces back to the 19-yard line. Give him a 29-yard punt. And it's 1st and 10 there for Seattle with 1:01 left. Next Sunday, join NBC for week number 8 of the NFL season. That's the halfway point. It all starts at 12:30 with NFL Live. 12:30 Eastern Time. Then most of you will see a key AFC Central Division battle as the Oilers travel to the Dog Pound to face the Cleveland Browns. Some of you will see the Chargers take on these Seahawks, plus regional action. So check your local listings for the game at time in your area. Never fun going to the Dog Pound in Cleveland. Elway on the sideline. Showed signs that they might be able to get on the board, but they couldn't. So from the 19, Kurt Warner, with 1:01 to go in the half, runs it outside, and he goes outside to the 21-yard line. Brought down by Simon Fletcher. New England is tied at 10-10 on a Greg Davis field goal. The Rams continuing to trail at home.
This will be a 40-second timeout.
Giants lead 6-3 at the half. Phoenix 21-3 over the Atlanta Falcons, who picked up a win last week over New England. That's in the 2nd quarter. And with 50 seconds remaining here in our first half at the Kingdom, down at 9. John L. Williams out to the 20-yard line, and Denver calls an immediate timeout to stop the clock because they figure that maybe they can force Seattle to punt the ball away and maybe get a crack at some pretty good field position. Now this telecom. 4 wide receivers in, so it's out of a passing formation now. That's Scansey coming down the line in motion. And Craig will put it up. Out of the backfield, too far in front of John L. Williams, and the clock stops now with 40 seconds left in the half. See, with a pretty good return, so his confidence was back. They almost yanked him out of there after he had bobbled a few punts. Here's Bell at his 37. Well, they are right on him at the 40-yard line. 43-yard punt, 4-yard return. There's Stevens, number 94, climbing out of your picture. He with the new chin strap.
Today, if you were there at our meeting, he said that the other players are mad at him because when they practice, he goes too far or too hard out.
Elway now with 29 seconds to go in the half. To the sideline from Michael Young. He's got it, trying to get out of bounds. He did not get out of bounds, and then he tried to fumble out. But the official says keep the clock going with 19 seconds to go. Denver has to get up there to the line of scrimmage. 18-yard pass play.
It is 17 and a 1st down.
Young out of UCLA. After that catch.
Now the clock should be running. They're winding the clock down there. I don't understand why it stopped at 19 seconds.
They had to get the sticks down there. Incompleted pass to Young over by the sideline.
But it took an awful long time for them to get the sticks in place that time, and I think that's the reason why the Seahawks were a little upset about it. It gave more than enough time for Denver. John Elway to step in and throw it out of bounds, saving that final timeout.
And Reeves yelling out to Elway, and that's what Chuck Knox is saying right now. Why? I think that's exactly the point he's making. Now, wait a minute. Why wasn't the clock starting? And he's yelling out to the referee, Johnny. Hey, Johnny, what's the story with the clock?
That's saved.
But doesn't want to give up a score late. Complete to the sideline and racing out of bounds is Vance Johnson.
And guess who got away with one on that? Gerald Perry, number 60, was leaning again, trying to stop Rufus Porter from getting upfield. They're trying to help him now. They are bringing the back, Sammy Winder. But take a look at him. A little, you know what? It's like being a little bit pregnant. You either are or you're not. You are either offsides or you are not offsides. There is no middle ground.
Jim, there's a stork right over here waiting for you at halftime. 11 seconds left. Third down and 3. Perry moved that time, I think. 42-yard line, third down and 8. Elway airs it out sideline. Michael Young. He's got it. Nice catch by Young. Stays in bounds, then gets out. It stops the clock with 5 seconds left.
Front and just inside to get out of bounds before time expires. 5 seconds left, a 13-yard pickup.
Treadwell, 12 for 13 on the year kicking field goals. He has 50 points so far on the season.
And the only one he's missed was from 54 yards away, Jim.
46-yard field goal attempt. Kubiak will hold, the backup quarterback. 5 seconds to go in the half. Went right down the middle. Off the bar. No good. It hit the crossbar and fell down. It didn't fall over. It fell down. Watch it. The direction's no problem. Up. Up. Down. No good. And that's the end of the first half. Nothing went well for those guys. Into the locker room they go as Seattle leads 14-0 here at the half. And James Jefferson and Elroy Harris are back deep for Seattle as they get the first crack at the football here in the second half, and it's Jefferson. A flag comes flying from upfield as Jefferson goes down to the 30-yard line. We'll check out the flags by the 15, and that's where they start here in the second half. Joe Montana with the sprained knee being attended to in San Francisco after he was carried off. Sprained knee for Joe Montana. Dave Craig and the Seahawks on first down go to John L. Williams, and he carries up over the 15 out near the 18-yard line. It's been Williams and Warner. They have been able to run the ball, in particular on first down. First down's been a good down for them.
That's been the key. Both Williams and Warner coming off the ball. That time, Cragen doing a good job of beating the center Fiesel and getting up into Williams to hold him to about a 3-yard gain.
Second down at 7 at the 18-yard line.
Second and 7 at the 18.
Brian Blades and Paul Scansey, the wide receivers. Just 2 in the lineup right now. The tight end is Robert Tyler, and he lines up in a slot right now off the line of scrimmage. And now comes in motion. Sweep to Warner. Ooh, big hit by the Broncos as they came up to shut the play down. Simon Fletcher came in there and really put the hit on Warner. He came flying through.
Fletcher turns the ball back inside, gets rid of the blocker, and then gets up upfield. But I think the one who comes flying in is Dennis Smith, number 49. Let's try to take a look at it. See, he throws Williams away, and then it is Smith who dives up and through. But Fletcher, playing well all season long, does the job against Warner.
We have an injured Seahawk. Their left tackle, Ron Mattis, is being helped off the field right now, flexing his left leg. There he is going to the sideline. That would mean that their rookie, Andy Heck, would come in, their top draft choice out of Notre Dame. So Heck reports in at left tackle, and Seattle's got a 3rd down and 5 now at the 20-yard line, leading 14-0. One back in the backfield, that's John L. Williams. Atwater coming on a blitz. They beat the blitz with a pass across the middle to Blades for a first down out over the 30-yard line. 11 yards and a first down for Blades.
It's a good read by both Blades and Craig. When they see the blitz coming from Atwater, what they do is Craig looks immediately to that side and gets the slant pattern, the quick slant, because he knows he has man-on-man over the quarter. Haynes trying to get over and make it. But take a look at it. He knows he sees the blitz coming. He breaks his pattern off to the inside and picks up the first down.
They're out at the 32-yard line, 1st and 10. And Craig has him back up. So an important first down because it's kind of a sleepy start to the second half. The crowd quiet, just getting back into their seats. Not that big roar that we heard throughout the first half. And they're trying to get their offense back on board here. Flag goes down in the vicinity of holding as we see John L. Williams bring it out over the 35 to the 37-yard line. Denver pointing that it is against Seattle, and it is holding. There's John L. Williams. So this will march the Seahawks back.
Holding, 54 offense. Still first down.
It's on the center, Feasel. Holding penalty on him. Now tonight, following the game on most of these NBC stations, the entertainment lineup starts with the magical world of Disney and A Brand New Life, followed by Sister Kate and My Two Dads. Then take a world-class cruise with an all-star cast: Night Court's Richard Ball, Dear John's Jane Carr, Alf's Andrea Elson, the Hogan family's Josh Taylor, and more star in the NBC world premiere movie Class Cruise tonight on NBC. First down and a bunch after the holding call. Craig away from pressure to Lewis Clark, and he is immediately hit by Dennis Smith, who came up and knocked him back at the 20-yard line. They'll lose a couple of yards on that play.
Well, what they've done here in the second half is exactly what they stayed away from in the first half. They put themselves deeper into their own territory because of a penalty on first down. Excuse me, it was second down when they got it. But it marched them back, and that's taken them out of the game plan. Wade Phillips has not been able to stop first down running attack, and now with the big penalty, they're pushed back, and he can dictate what they do against the Seattle offense.
Second down and 22. There's an anxious owner, Ken Behring, looking on the sideline, desperately wants a winner here in Seattle. Second down, 22. Away from Alfonso Carricker. They unload it out of the backfield, and John L. Williams brings it out for a short gain out to the 24-yard line. The first time we've seen big number 92 for the Broncos, Alfonso Carricker, as he get up in the face of Dave Craig there on that rush.
Well, they try to let him do that. See, on this, it's a strange play. It's a screen set up away from the flow to the weak side of the formation. Take a look at it. All the offensive linemen go to the right. They try to force all the defenders over that way. They say, come on, this is where the play is. And all of a sudden, Craig throws it back to the other side. But to Denver, with pretty good defense, they weren't fooled by the play.
Third down and 18 now. At the Seattle 24-yard line, 4 wideout splits, 1 back in the backfield with Craig. The roll out to the far side. Across the middle, Scansey has it. He'll be short of the first down, I believe, at the 40-yard line. A 16-yard pass play, but they needed 18.
Good job by Scansey. Take a look at him. Inside receiver. That is Chadwick, number 88, and that draws the coverage up front. Scansey taking a tough hit by 27 Atwater. A week ago, Scansey dropped the ball twice, and that is so unusual for him. Dave Craig, I asked him about it. He said, hey, he's the best hands in the NFL. He's allowed to drop one once in a while, and he makes the tough catch there.
Ken Bell standing back at the 20-yard line. Here's Rodriguez to punt it. Bell runs up on a short punt and brings it out over the 30 to the 32-yard line. A 33-yard punt, 3-yard return. The Broncos catching their breath and trying to score. Welcome back to the Seahawks in a must-win situation here today against Denver, as they trail the Broncos by 2 games in the AFC West, lead 14-0, as Bobby Humphrey gets the call and goes out to the 35-yard line.
Now, it's smart for Denver to come back to Bobby Humphrey. He has not done much today, but that's because of the situation the Broncos have been in. They've been forced to try and throw it a lot in the first half. They were just down so early. But there's plenty of time. I mean, there's a full half of football left. He's the guy who's gotten them here so far, especially after the past couple of weeks. They've got to give it to Bobby Humphrey if they're going to be successful today.
He's on the sideline right now. They can't get their running game going. They're averaging less than 2 yards per carry in this ball game. Second down at 6, as that was a rare sight, getting 4 yards on that carry by Humphrey. Vance Johnson in motion. Elway across the middle, trying to get it to Sewell, and it was knocked down. Darren Como was on the chase. In fact, he was the guy that swatted it down. Good play by the linebacker. Elway was looking for Sewell across the middle, and he had him too.
Take a look at it, left part of your screen. Como with his hands up in the air, a low throw on the part of Elway. I mean, Como's not a big guy, and he simply stuck one hand partially up in the air and knocked it down. A low pass by John Elway.
Third down at 6. Winder is in the backfield now with Elway out of the shotgun. 4 wide receivers. Elway saying he can't hear. The official holding his arm up. Johnny Greer. Elway not going to take the snap until things quiet down. Here's Johnny Greer. If he points at Elway, then he's telling him start the play. But he did not do that. For Denver.
It is relatively quiet right now in this dome. They'll get revved up as he comes to the line, but not nearly as loud as it was in the first half.
3rd down and 6. The center, Cox, is looking back at Elway as here come the Seahawks across the line of scrimmage. Now, let's see what
They're trying to find out when it's snapped, but they're also worried about people like Rufus Porter.
3rd and 11. Elway's going to go big for Michael Young. He's got it. Out of bounds. We might need some replay on that one, Jimmy.
That was an absolutely perfect throw by John Elway, and from this angle, I got to tell you, I agree with Elway. It seemed that Michael Young was in bounds, but here's the eye in the sky to tell us the truth. Great throw by Elway, right over the head of the defensive back and into the arms of Michael Young.
1 foot.
2 feet. I tell you what, I think that...
Did he have it? Are you sure he had the second foot?
It seemed to me like he had the second foot. We can take another look at it to make sure of it, though, but that's certainly close enough to take another look.
The Denver sideline is screaming because they watched the replay up on the screen here at the Kingdom. Elway saying, yeah, and then, oh, it's been that kind of day when the official ruled him out.
Take a look at it. When does he have the football? Does the first foot get in when he gets the football? He's got the ball. 1 foot.
2. Yes.
2 feet. That's a catch. Michael Young and John Elway should get that one and a first out for the Broncos.
There's the read.
He has the ball, and now the foot is down, and the second one comes in. There's no question about that. That's a catch for Michael Young.
Here's the call.
Further review, the pass is ruled complete.
It's a good catch and a heck of a play by the officials there to see it. Go to the replay, and then the replay showed him that he was in. 46-yard pass play, and it's a huge play for the Broncos.
Well, you mentioned earlier that this crowd seemed a little flat. The Seattle offense was a bit flat when they came out, and this big play by Elway. And Denver's right back into this thing. They're down 14 points, but driving now at the 26-yard line.
So they've been fighting the crowd and themselves, really, all afternoon, the Broncos. But they catch a break right there as Young makes the catch. It was ruled out, but I don't know. Is it all decided yet? We have an official over on the telephone right now, over on the sideline. There he is. Elway underneath center. 1st and 10 at the 26. They are down 14-0. And Bobby Humphrey will get just a couple as Tony Woods, the linebacker, and Jacob Green trip him up by the ankles to knock Humphrey down. There's been very little running room today. Dan Reeve looking out. Scoreboard time around the NFL. 49ers and Saints leading, both in the 3rd quarter.
And the Saints big over the Rams.
Giants and Phoenix leading. And here in the Kingdom, Seattle holding on to a 14-0 lead, and you're getting the sense that they are starting to really hold on right now, too. Denver trying to mount a comeback. 2nd and 8. Elway flushed, and he'll throw it away into the end zone, and out of the end zone with Eugene Robinson and Patrick Hunter trying to get the ball at the back end of the end zone.
Well, they brought Nesby Glasgow, the strong safety, on the play. Good protection that time. They've been much maligned, the offensive front 7 of Denver. The Models will give him credit. Good protection by this group, especially when they bring Woods, 57, and Glasgow, number 22. But look at the protection. Plenty of time, but they had to keep so many people in to get that kind of protection. Not enough receivers downfield for John Elway.
So they're sacrificing some bodies out there as receivers, right?
That's exactly right, but they've got to continue to give help to Perry and the other people because of people like Rufus Porter.
Well, to keep the drive going now, they've got to connect here. 3rd down and 8. Rufus Porter, watch him now as he comes from the outside. Elway's running right into him, and then right into another man, and Joe Nash knocks him down. It's the 4th sack of the day of Elway. First it was Porter, and then running away, Elway ran right into Nash.
Gerald Perry, number 60, doesn't do a bad job on Porter. Gets him outside, gets those arms out, keeps him out there. He does a great job, the best that he's done, but that allows the inside play of Joe Nash to come up inside. Again, that time, the Broncos had 4 receivers in the play, and not enough for Elway to find somebody downfield.
All right, they're going to attempt a 47-yard field goal. Kubiak holding for Treadwell. He's 0 for 1 on the day. He's 0 for 2. Nothing Seahawks. We'll be back. I think the proper time to leave that line alone, and now we're back to the call of the game. Off the right side, Seattle runs. Mark Munford on the stop right there. Kurt Warner on the carry. So Seattle keeps allowing Denver to hang in the ball game, Jimmy, and yet you feel if the Seahawks could get maybe one more score, that could do it.
Well, there's Steve Largent in the middle of your screen. He's up in the booth helping the coaches for the Seahawks. He'll be back in action next week. He's just one touchdown catch away from Don Hutson's NFL all-time career mark. He had a broken bone near his elbow in game 1, and he is expected back off injured reserve next week.
Here's a blitz. Craig got away from it, though. But then they finally track him down as Denver was on him all the way. Ron Holmes and Dennis Smith were coming from the right side. Holmes missed him the first time, but then Craig ran right back into him.
Let's take a look at it. I mentioned Craig has some good mobility. He can move around in the pocket, a little nervous feet a bit, more than enough time, but he simply had no one downfield. But he does have that ability to get away from an ongoing pass rush. And as I mentioned, for my money, David Craig is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. The problem is he looks like a janitor outside of the regular football uniform, and so people think, well, he's not much of a quarterback. That's simply not the case.
Wade Phillips looking out at his defense, which just recorded their first sack, and it's 3rd down and 10 now for the Seahawks. 4 wide receivers in. And the ball is picked off by Tyrone Braxton. And he goes down inside Seattle's 30-yard line, stepping out at the 27-yard line. There is a flag down on the play. But Tyrone Braxton makes the catch on the interception and runs it back 19 yards. There is no flag, so the interception stands, and the Broncos are right back into the game if they can score.
Well, Craig made the mistake here. Remember I mentioned earlier they played in this deep zone, someone underneath and someone deep downfield. He's got to fit it in between the 2 defenders. There it is. He does not get enough on the football. Braxton steps in front of Blades and gets down the sideline. Another throw by David Craig.
6:05 left, 3rd quarter. I formation. Winder and Humphrey behind Elway. He's rifling across the middle, and the pass is caught inside the 15-yard line. It's Mark Jackson, and the Broncos have a 1st down. And any question marks about Mr. Elway's arm, no worry, because that had a lot of zing on it.
He's got a bazooka arm. Smoke comes out of his elbow on occasion. Take a look at this. This throw can only be made by John Elway. He's got to zip this ball in because the closing of Patrick Hunter, number 27, is terrific. But before he can get to it, Elway's pass makes it to Mark Jackson.
There's Jackson lining up outside now. 1st and 10 inside the 15-yard line. One back in the backfield. That's Humphrey. And they pitch it to him. Good blocking to the 5. Inside the 5. Out at the 3-yard line. It will be 1st and goal. We're going for an update to New York, and here's 1st and goal now. Denver at the Seattle 3. 2-back set in the I formation. Remember, they've lost their big blocking fullback, Alexander. He's out of the game. Winder's in there along with Humphrey. That's Sewell in motion. Humphrey the call. Bangs tries to get in. He's close. Inside the 1.
Alvin Jenkins on the defense.
And this is the position on the field they most miss Jeff Alexander, the big fullback who can help. He's almost like an ace up front man for you, but they don't have it. They have to use Winder, who's a small guy. And maybe the difference between getting into the end zone and not getting in is a block by a fullback.
2nd down and goal. The crowd now rises, trying to urge on the Seahawk defense. Inside the 1. Humphrey had trouble with the football on that handoff. That was really a little bit of a problem, but he did hang on. They're pushed back, though.
The reason there was great penetration by the Seattle front 7. Nesby Glasgow, number 22 Submarines, coming in from the outside. There he is. He gets into the backfield, and that's what stopped Humphreys right at the line of scrimmage. Great penetration by Seattle.
He never really had a chance to get his bottom arm underneath that football. You saw that thing was really exposed. Third down from the 1.
Look for the play action fake by Elway here.
Elway saying, I can't hear. Johnny Greer holding that arm up. Points to him. Now he's got to run the play. And now he says, I can't hear again. I think the play clock had run out on him.
If the disruptive crowd noise continues, the defensive team will forfeit a timeout or be assessed a 5-yard penalty.
Now this crowd has got to be smart,
cooperation.
because if they're penalized, it changes the play calling of the Denver Broncos. They're at the 1-yard line now. It may be some play action here. Dan Reeves has liked the reverse, oddly enough, this deep inside. But if they get to the half-yard line because of the penalty, they can give the ball to Humphrey to dive up over the top. This crowd has got to be smart in this situation.
Reeves knows that Denver has to put this thing in. Down 14-0. Third down, goal at the 1. There's Johnny Greer. Over the top. Dives. They didn't get in. Winder could not get in. And it's 4th down and decision time.
Last week, take a look at it again. Again, the great penetration by Nash up front. That's submarine, the running back, and he does not get into the end zone. Another look at it. Great job by the defensive front of Seattle to stop. And Elway even goes down. They got back in very quickly and got him on the ground as well.
So it's 4th and goal. Inside the 1. Reeves looking out. I formation, Winder and Humphrey. Elway stands up, saying he can't hear. He wants quiet. All right, the crowd does die down.
But they have run the reverse to Sewell, number 30, in this position before. And with the great penetration of Seattle, look for some kind of misdirection play by the Broncos.
Looking out. 14-0 Seahawks. But the ball is inside the Seattle 1. It's 4th and goal. Again, he steps away. The defensive players are asking the crowd to quiet down. Again, he stands up.
If they move that thing another 6 inches into the end zone, they may cost this team a touchdown.
Trying to go wide. Humphrey got hit. Drives. Touchdown, Denver. He got stopped but stayed upright and then peeled off the side and went in. Great run by the rookie. Boy, you want to talk about a tough yard to get, Jimmy.
Well, again, it was great penetration by the front of the Seattle defense. And it's only Humphrey who gets this thing in. Take a look at it. The right side is stood up. A nice hit inside by 53 Darren Como, but he's not able to wrap him up. And Humphrey, despite the sore ribs, has got enough gumption to get into the end zone. Watch Como, 53 with a big hit. Doesn't wrap him up, and Humphrey, a tough rookie, gets in for the score.
Extra point by Treadwell is good. And Denver, on a 4th down and goal, gets it in for the touchdown. There's a flag down on the kick. Broncos. Treadwell will try, as Jimmy said, about a 30-yard point after touchdown attempt. No trouble. It's good, and it's 14-7. Cut Seattle's lead down to 14-7. David Treadwell has it on the tee, ready to kick it away to either Elroy Harris or James Jefferson. Momentum shift in the game? I think so. Maybe back towards Denver. Here's Jefferson from his 5. Tyrone Braxton makes the hit out over the 25 to the 26-yard line. It's the 7th Sunday of action here in the NFL. Jerry Rice has just got a touchdown pass from Steve Young as the 49ers break that tie with New England. Jim Everett has thrown some touchdown passes. The Rams getting back into that game. San Diego trailing by 7 to the Giants, and Phoenix in total control over the Falcons. We're in the 3rd quarter here at the Kingdome with 2:02 left, And Seattle with the ball and a 7-point lead. At their own 26-yard line, David Craig, who just threw an interception, it sets up a Denver score, hands it off to John L. Williams, and a good run out to the 35-yard line. Wyman Henderson is over to make the tackle. A good pickup for the Broncos, a Plan B free agent from the Vikings coming over to make this team.
Well, this is the first time during the second half that the Seahawks had gotten big yardage on first down with the running game. Take a look at it. Left side, they're pulling the tackle, number 75, Mike Wilson. Brian Millard is also on the pull, and it's not until Henderson comes over to make the tackle 9 yards downfield do the Broncos stop the Seahawks.
2nd down and 1. Craig at his own 35. Back it goes to John L. Williams. He is stuffed. Simon Fletcher is in on the tackle. We'll step out for an NFL update. Here's Bob Costas. That game, Jimmy?
Given that we've done their games the last couple of weeks, and the Patriots last week just imploded against the Atlanta Falcons, as we take a look, it will not be enough for a first down for the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah, I'm a little surprised. The problems with their quarterback situations will not be solved today. Steve Grogan not the answer for the future for the Patriots, but certainly has enough gumption and enough experience to move a club on one given afternoon.
It is 3rd down and just about a half yard to go for Seattle first down. Down to 1:10 left here in the 3rd quarter. That's what they've done on 3rd down conversions. Not good, and a lot of that, those 2 for 9, they got their first 2, and I think they've missed their last 7. Travis McNeil in motion. And there's Kurt Warner spilling off and should have the first down on that semi-dive. And he does. First down, Seattle.
There's been a lot of criticism lately of Kurt Warner, and I don't think it's deserved in many ways. He had one of the most severe knee injuries that any player in the NFL has ever experienced. Yet he got back onto the field and has played fairly well given that injury. He's quite a ball player. Tough, hard-nosed running back.
Play action fake and Craig up top for Scansey. Oh, what a hit put on Scansey after he made the catch across the middle. I believe that's Steve Atwater. It is the rookie who went headhunting on Scansey after a 16-yard pass play for a first down.
And you can't ask for a better pass pattern. There's a look at Scansey running the defensive back off before making the break. There's much too room up there. Tyrone Braxton, number 34, giving much too much room to Paul Scansey. He simply does not have the speed to dictate playing 12 yards off.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter. Seattle holding on.
Denver on defense has got to do to affect Elway and the offense of the Broncos.
Yeah, Gerald Perry was having a handful trying to block him as Warner gets the carry on first down and goes down to the Denver 43-yard line. Gain of 3 yards, make it 2nd down and 7. 14-7. Seattle led 14-0 early. Had the lead at halftime. Denver got on the board on a 4th down conversion from the 1-yard line on a run by Bobby Humphrey. As we start the 4th quarter. Dan Reeves, it's really been a battle for him on that sidelines all day long. His team easily could have been blown out of this place in the first half, but their defense has kept them in the game. And indeed, a defensive turnover, an interception by Tyrone Braxton set up the score. Look at Warner change directions. A great play by Michael Brooks to come in there. He almost took the handoff with Warner, and that blew that play apart.
Well, Michael Brooks has great strength. He's the one who messed this play up completely. He stops the blocking back in the middle of the backfield, and then he gets help from the inside. Take a look at it. John L. Williams stopped by Brooks, number 56. And then he gets the help from everybody else. Braxton and Mecklenburg and company come over to finish it off.
Setting up a 3rd down and 9. 4 wide receivers in, Chadwick and Clark. As you look at Warner getting dumped by Braxton. Blades and Scansey. From the Denver 45. Clark makes a nice catch. Atwater held on to him and then got some help. It's at the 39-yard line, but they're shy of the first down. They must punt. Lewis Clark really did make a nice catch down low, and Steve Atwater hung on for dear life, because if he loses hold of him, then all of a sudden Clark might slip through and get the first down. 4th down, they'll punt. There's a rookie, he's been very, very good, hasn't he?
Rodriguez.
You know what he's as good at as anyone in the league, and even though he's a rookie, he's disguised his defenses so very well. It's something that Dave Craig talked to us about yesterday. He's impressed by Atwater because he can disguise things even though he's just a first-year player.
Rodriguez will try and pin Denver in now. Straight up in the air. I mean, straight up in the air, and it will hit at the 35 to the 40, and Rodriguez has to make the touch at the 40-yard line. Is that a negative punt? It is. -3. Ruben Rodriguez is straight up in the air. In baseball, it's the infield fly rule. With 1 out or less, runners advance at their own risk.
And in football, it's an oddity that the punter is the one who actually downs his own punt.
1st and 10, Denver. Look at the field position now. Out over their own 40. Their field position starting here in the second half has improved. They're starting their drives average-wise at their own 45. That's a shorter field. Going big. Oh, what a catch there. Mark Jackson pulls it down. What a grab by Jackson down at the 10-yard line. A 49-yard pass play.
A bit of an underthrow by Elway, but he puts it in a position for his receiver to get it. He's going against Melvin Jenkins, number 24, and that is a tremendous catch by Mark Jackson, number 80, down the sideline. Good coverage by Melvin Jenkins. You can't do it any better, and Elway puts it into a position, a bit of an underthrow, but that is all Mark Jackson who puts it away.
They're at the 10-yard line, trying to tie the game up. Orson Mobley, the tight end, down the line in motion. Humphrey to the 5, down to the 3-yard line. Bobby Humphrey on a bit of a delay by Elway froze those linebackers, and it opened up that hole for the rookie out of Alabama. And they are getting close. And listen right now, Jimmy, listen to this building. That's the way, if you're the visiting team, you like to hear it. Quiet.
At halftime, something happened to this crowd. They lost momentum, and so did their team when they walked onto the field.
2nd down from the 3. Off the side, and David Wyman is there to make the tackle along with Darren Como on the run by Bobby Humphrey. Wyman was the first guy there. They didn't fool him as they kind of sent everybody to the right. Now we have a little altercation after the play. Clarence Kay in there, Wyman's in there along with Eugene Robinson.
Again, it's the delay. Mobley, number 89, helping on the middle of the field. He is the tight end they send in motion, but the right side of the Seattle defense not buying it. Wyman in, making a big play.
Wide receivers checking out of the Denver offense right now as Chuck Knox is hoping that his defense can dig in right here and hang on to a 7-point lead. Sewell checks in, and they've got tight ends across that line of scrimmage. Kay and Kelly and Mobley. Elway asking for quiet. Third down from the 2. Touchdown, Clarence Kay. Elway with a lot of poise. Didn't seem to have anybody to throw to, and then found Kay. There's a flag down now, and it might have been because of celebration by Kay in the end zone.
Well, Melvin Jenkins was upset. He was pushed, apparently, and I'm going to say apparently, by Clarence Kay. That is what he is claiming. He continued to argue, and then a flag flew. Whether it's on Jenkins, number 24, we're not certain, but he did hit the deck when coming into contact with Clarence Kay.
Unsportsmanlike celebration after the touchdown. The touchdown is good. We'll put it away for the kickoff.
You're absolutely right. Now take a look at it. Clarence Kay, number 88, middle of your screen. What happens here? It's actually just a good move on the part of Kay, and Jenkins hits the turf.
And there's the unsportsmanlike celebration.
That's a bit of a cheap call, though. I mean, he spiked the football. Yes, it was in the face of the other player, but I've seen worse. I mean,
Yes. David Treadwell will set the extra point.
I have to give you a one-word answer, but yes. David Treadwell for the tie game here. It's good, and with 10:23 remaining.
Now, Melvin Jenkins, 24, take a look at him, middle of your screen. He falls down and is upset and turns back to the official, but Kay spikes it. right in the face of the defender, Patrick Hunter, number 27, and there's the call.
Jefferson, the 25 out to the 26-yard line. A nice one-on-one tackle made there by Kip Corrington
13 yards.
as he comes in to make the stop. So the penalty doesn't come back and give Seattle all that great a field position after the excessive celebration penalty. 49ers by 7. The Saints leading the Rams in the fourth quarter. The other games going on. The Giants by 7 over San Diego, and Phoenix leading Atlanta. And here at the Kingdom with 10:15 remaining in regulation time, that's our story. 14-14, dig in. It should be a great last 10 minutes and 15 seconds. Jim Donovan and Jimmy Cephalo with you in this AFC West battle. Craig trying to light the fire again. The ball is caught by Tyler, the tight end, and he brings it out to the 39-yard line. Robert Tyler out of South Carolina State has put the tight end back in the Seattle offense this year, albeit not today.
Well, they lost Mike Tice to Plan B free agency, and they wind up with Tyler, who was on injured reserve all of last year, but he shows the good hands, remarkably good hands for a big man. Gets enough for a first down.
12 yards on the pass play out to the 39-yard line. Lewis Clark and Blades are the wide receivers. What Tyler's done, as you see him lined up right on the end of the offensive line on the season. On first down, John L. Williams. A flag goes down, and I believe it's going to be called against Seattle. Now they're saying that the ball is down, and Mecklenburg has it and is running with it into the end zone. On the loose ball, he goes in for a touchdown, perhaps. They're saying that the ball was fumbled and that Denver has it at the Seattle 40-yard line. There was a flag thrown. It was going to be against Seattle anyway. Here's the play.
John L. Williams with a simple dive play up the middle. That is Smith diving over the top, kicking the ball out, and Mecklenburg falls on it for Denver. Now, no one touches him.
Then he says to Munford, get off me. Get off me and let me run with this thing.
Now, the whistles were blowing, and that's the reason they bring it back to the 40-yard line. But actually, there was not a Seattle Seahawks player who dove up on top.
That's your replay official, Al Sabato. The ball is at the 40-yard line. It's all Broncos right now. In a tie game, they have come back from a 14-point deficit. Elway to Humphrey. And look at their running game start to open up, too, as he bangs inside the 35-yard line down to the 33, where he's tackled by the safety, Nesby Glasgow.
This much maligned group of offensive linemen for Denver should be given a great deal of credit. They were just terrorized during that first half, but we have not heard the name of Rufus Porter the second half yet.
Nor have we heard the name of Gerald Perry over the referee's mic being called for motion. So they straightened it out. At halftime, it is second down and 3. Humphrey nailed behind the line of scrimmage by Bryant. Jeff Bryant scissors in to bring Humphrey down. A clarification, or at least a description of on that fumble play. As soon as the whistle blows and the play is down, there can be no replay on it. And Mecklenburg is up with that fumble, as Humphrey will get tagged for a loss here.
From the inside, it is Bryant, number 77, guarding away from his right end position. He beats everyone down the line, including Gerald Perry, number 60, again the culprit. A tough day, both running and passing by Gerald Perry. 3rd and 3, shotgun.
The fake to Winder, and the ball was thrown low. There's one of those low fastballs that Jimmy talked about that Elway has been criticized for throwing as he tried to get it to Jackson, and Jackson tried to scoop it up off the turf and couldn't come up with it.
A little bit of a misdirection. Nice play by the Broncos. More than enough time for Elway. A wide open receiver. He simply rushed the throw. When I said earlier, it's tough to point your finger at what's wrong with Elway. He's got such great motion, great form. There, it was easy. He simply rushed his throw. It should have been a completion to Jackson.
On 4th down, Elway is over to the sideline, was pleading his case that maybe we should go for it. And indeed, he was starting on his way out to the field with another play when he was summoned back by Dan Reeves, and they'll go with Treadwell or Horan. They're going to punt it. They'll punt it as the clock is down to 0 right now on the 45-second play clock, and that will cost them 5 yards. So indecision on the Denver sideline. gets them flagged right here.
But what they did, they wanted to get that call. They simply, apparently, don't have enough confidence in David Treadwell after he missed a couple of kicks. They wanted the penalty to try to give Horan enough time to kick it into the corner because he was on the field before that clock ran out.
There's Treadwell on the sideline. Remember, he had one hit the crossbar right at the end of the half. Then he missed wide. He brought in some great numbers, 12 for 13 coming into the game. 0 for 2 on field goals today. Rufus Porter trying to run out onto the field now for Seattle as you look at James Jefferson. Horan with a line drive punt. Look at that play right there. As Denver goes down and catches it, Darren Carrington goes down and catches the ball inside the 10. A 31-yard punt in a tie game. Back at the Kingdome, full house. But they have watched their Seahawks, who are 0-2 in this building this year, blow a 14-0 lead and allow Denver to come back and tie it 14-14. And now they're pinned back inside their 10 with 8:03 left in regulation. Scancy down the line in motion. Kurt Warner runs it out over the 10. Rick Dennison makes the tackle. And a flag goes down right into the pile.
Flag on the field. Personal foul.
Denver nailed for a personal foul. And that will allow Seattle to get out of the bad field position.
Well, it ruins Dan Reeves' decision earlier to punt it, not trying for the field goal.
55 defense. First down.
They nailed Dennison on the call.
Earlier, when he decided Dennison coming out of the football game, he the one called for it. He'll get a reception from Dan Reeves on the sideline, that's for certain.
First and 10 of the 26.
55, right part of your screen, taking on the blocker, and a good heads-up play. He makes it.
Is there a little extra there? First down. Craig, look out, that could be picked off. No, he almost had it. Dennis Smith almost picked the ball off at the 25-yard line.
The reason it hurts Reeves' decision earlier to go for the punt instead of the field goal is we take another look at it. A dangerous play by David Craig, throwing it again out into the flat, the most dangerous pass in all of football. The reason it messes up his decision earlier is because the thought is to try to nail him into the corner, have your defense hold, and get great field position. Now they were doing that, good defensive play, but because of the penalty, they're out of the bad field position and at the 25-yard line.
Second down at 10. Seattle just lucky to have the ball right now as Smith almost picked the pocket of Craig there. Here's John L. Williams out of the tackle of Munford, and he'll get a couple of extra yards. Munford had him back at the 28-yard line, missed the tackle. John L. then took it out over the 30 to the 33-yard line, and they'll come up third down and about 4.
Williams slipping a tackle initially, and he sets up a better third down situation for his team. He beats the one tackle before Mecklenburg, and company comes over to nail him. And it'll be third and about 3 yards for a first down.
6:55 left in regulation time. We're tied. Remember, the Broncos came in here with a 2-game lead in the AFC West over Seattle and the Raiders have already lost today. Craig out in the flat with a flag down. Scancy makes the catch, has the first down, but the play is on hold as the Bronco defense
Catch and pays the price as Patrick Hunter coming in and dropping him right in his tracks. Dangerous play by Bell. He muffed a couple of kicks last week against the Colts and does a good job to hang on, but his decision-making needs a little bit of improvement.
Orson Mobley moves in motion. It's first and 10 for Denver. Elway fumbles the snap. There's a loose football. Seattle pointing that they have it, and they do. Como, the linebacker, comes up with the football for the Seahawks. And that's a big wake-up call for this Kingdome crowd.
This is the second time today that Karts number 72 and Elway have had trouble at the center exchange. They pulled Doug Waddell, number 67, across, and that's what prevented Elway from hopping onto the football.
Just when Denver had righted the ship, a big turnover. 6:28 left. Now let's see if Seattle can cash in a tie game at 14-14. John L. Williams. Chased down by Simon Fletcher. Inside the 35, down to the 32-yard line. Let's go to the 10-minute ticker. Check in on the other games that are going along with ours. New England has added a field goal. They trail by 4. New Orleans 40-21 over the Rams. The wheels kind of came off the Rams' attack this week. Giants lead. Phoenix leads. And we're tied here. 14-14 in the Kingdom with 5:55 left. Second down, 7. 3-yard run on first down by John L. Williams. Play action fake to Warner. A screen pass set up down the middle to Warner, and a flag comes down flying late after the play. Warner outside. Good pursuit by Denver. It looked like it was going to be a big play, and then Wyman Henderson entered into the picture and closed in to chase Warner out.
Dennis Smith trying to make something happen. Number 49 from the right side of your screen into the backfield. Williams does a good job of picking him up. And it's Dennison who forces him outside before Henderson makes the play.
3-yard pickup on first down. Second down, 7.
Dennis Smith is the guy who makes this Denver defense happen. He's the one who forces the fumbles, comes up with the recovery of fumbles, and I watch for him here in this series if Denver's going to get out of this hole.
They put themselves in the hole when Elway and Karts misconnected on a snap, and Como, the linebacker for the Seahawks, recovered. It's going to Stancy. Touchdown! Club is growing in leaps and bounds. Here's the touchdown strike and a perfect throw, Jimmy.
Craig looked to the right. It was Dennis Smith, number 49, who he looked him off, then came back across to Scansey in the hole, and Braxton not able to get in front before the touchdown is scored.
Extra point by Johnson is good. And the Elway fumble comes back to haunt Denver as they give it away, and it ends up in a touchdown.
Watch 49 Smith in the hole. He loses your screen, but it was Craig who looked him off. And Braxton, expecting some help, did not get it from Atwater. In your screen there, number 27, Scansey in for the score.
Scansey being congratulated on the sideline.
Watch Smith. He's looking for some help and does not get it from Atwater coming over. And a blown coverage. Not really a blown coverage, but poor technique by the Denver defensive backs, allowing Scansey to sneak in.
You know, he looks a lot like Largent, size-wise, everything he does.
He's been compared a lot to him. He grew up in this area, so he has watched Steve Largent play for many a year. But as he says, he'd rather be known as Mr. Scansey. Paul Scansey has been a player who has played behind Largent. Largent has helped him through the years. And he has kind of been plugged into this offense, much the way.
Seattle, 5:32 left. Ken Bell takes it for the Broncos. Inside his 5. He's got some room to the outside and brings it out to his own 30-yard line as Denver had a nice wall set up for him. Dwayne Harper chases him out on the play. There is no penalty on the play. We originally thought that there might have been a flag down. No scored after a Denver fumble. John Elway being serenaded now by the crowd as they sing his name. Bobby Humphrey. Big hit. Couple of tough yards. Flying in there was Darren Como and Vernon Maxwell to put the hit. Jacob Green there too.
Well, there's more than enough time for Denver to try and get a little bit of a running game going to move downfield. I mean, they do have more than 5 minutes to go. But look at it. Maxwell does a good job of turning it upfield. And then the big hit comes in from Glasgow and company.
Second down at 7 at the 33-yard line. Sammy Winder is the lone back in the backfield with Elway. Jackson starts down the line in motion. Elway's going to get out of there and pays the price as he gets hit by Paul Moyer, the safety, and Jeff Bryant chases the play too. But he gets some yardage out over the 35 near the 36-yard line. It will be third down for the Broncos, third and about 4.
Nothing downfield. Again, they're keeping the back end to try to help on Porter. You see Winder, number 23, staying in. That means there's one less receiver in the pattern. Nobody open downfield, and Elway forced to eat it.
So Steve Sewell checks into the lineup for the Broncos. He'll be the back in the backfield along with Elway out of the shotgun on third down and 4. 3:56 left. And the Broncos down by 7. Flag is down. Sewell can't come up with the football. Out at the 45-yard line. Elway looks to the official to see what the call is. But we haven't seen that since right at the end of the first half.
Illegal formation. Number 60 offense. It's declined. Fourth down.
Penalty is on Gerald Perry. I'm Jim Donovan along with Jimmy Cephalo from the Kingdom in Seattle with 3:45 left in regulation time. Gerald Perry is nailed on that penalty. They decline it. And Mike Coran must punt it away to the Seahawks, who just took a 7-point lead on a touchdown catch by Paul Scansey. Fair catch called for by James Jefferson inside the 30 at the 29-yard line. NFL update 14, and Seattle just took the lead on their last possession as they try and run the ball. John L. Williams got it. Michael Brooks was in to make the tackle. Let's go around the NFL. These games going on. You just heard about the 49er game. New Orleans pounding the Rams and have been that way all afternoon, 40-21. The Giants in San Diego from San Diego. That's a final. The Giants win. Boy, San Diego loses close games, don't they? They lost by 1 point to these Seahawks last year. And Phoenix beating Atlanta. 21-14 here. There's Gerald Perry. It's been a tough day for him going up against Rufus Porter all afternoon. He's been flagged a few times. And now has to watch and hope that his team can get the ball back. Kurt Warner. And the Denver defense is there. Ball pops loose. And if Dennis Smith had been able to pick that ball up, that was a live football.
Flag on the field.
As Warner coughed it up, he fumbled earlier.
Well, the problem now, Warner wanted to stay in bounds. He could have strung it to the sideline, but wanted to stay in to force Denver to try and use a timeout. A flag on the play, and so that's all for naught anyway.
All right, you heard Johnny Greer tell the headlinesman, where was the fumble on the ball? Inside the 25. All right, stay there. This one obviously is against Seattle. Mecklenburg will make it.
But I believe the call is on John L. Williams, number 32, who had a hold of Michael Brooks by the back. And that was the call that was made. But Warner trying to stay inbound, the ball popping out, going out. And Denver is able to preserve a timeout because of it.
3rd and 15.
It's 3rd and 15, and the Denver defense must stop Seattle here with 2:46 left and get the ball back for their offense, trailing by 7. Craig steps up, and a drop by Lewis Clark. Looked like he took his eye off the football, Jimmy. He was looking for that first down stick, I think.
Well, even had he caught the football, he was well below the period he needed to grab the first down. And I don't think he would have grabbed it unless he was able to break 2 or 3 tackles. Craig is, he's got to go further downfield with this football. He's got to get a first down yardage. Take a look at it. If he catches that football, Atwater is there to make the hit. And I think, the mistake goes both to Clark. He's got to catch that football, but also to Craig, because he's got to get enough yardage downfield for the first down.
All right, the pressure falls on Ruben Rodriguez now to get it out of harm's way. And Ken Bell is waiting for the Broncos back at his 35-yard line. We have 2:42 left. Rodriguez nails it. Bell at his 30. Good run back as he cut it back upfield to the 46-yard line. A 49-yard punt, a 16-yard return by Bell, and he gives his Broncos good field position. John Elway and the Broncos. 2:31 left. Regulation time. Need a touchdown to tie. Gets away from Nash. Got a man open downfield with a flag down. Johnson to the end zone. Touchdown, but there's a flag down. Clarence Kay says it's against Seattle. Decline, touchdown, Broncos. 54 yards for Elway.
Well, give the credit to Elway. They roll him out of the pocket, and he waits on Johnson as much as possible. It's the old give and go. There was the flag to push downfield by 27 Patrick Hunter, and despite the penalty, Johnson beats him for the score.
And a big missed tackle by Eugene Robinson, the safety who had Johnson, and he slipped out of the tackle, and he went for the score.
That was a predetermined play, the comeback by Vance Johnson, the pump fake by Elway, and then the go pattern. And Johnson and Elway make it, tie it up. That is, if Treadwell can kick this through.
Kubiak to hold for Treadwell to try and tie it. Right down the middle. 21-21, 2:19 left as Elway trying to fire up the troops. They have been the comeback kids here today. They've never led, but they've been able to tie it up on a number of occasions. Let's look at the touchdown strike again.
It's play action fake. In this sense, they roll Elway out of the pocket with the pump. There's the pump. You see that? That helps the move downfield. That's timed with Johnson's outcut. He goes back up the field. Taylor is nowhere in the picture, but Robinson misses the tackle going for the football. A mistake by Robinson. When you're a defensive safety in this situation, you make sure of it. You don't go after the interception when there's only 2 minutes left in the game and you're up by 7.
Vance Johnson with the ponytail in the back. Didn't somebody try and pull that out a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, a couple of weeks ago, Michael Dean Perry. What Johnson does is he puts it up over his head and then his helmet on top. Well, Michael Dean Perry just reached in and yanked that thing down.
That was in their only loss in what was a wild afternoon in Cleveland when they were pelted from the Cleveland dog pound. Their only losing afternoon of the season. And Vance Johnson has just scored on a touchdown strike from Elway, 54 yards. Elway has fought through a lot of adversity today. And that's an Elway afternoon. That's been missing a lot this season. Here's the kickoff of Treadwell. Jefferson from his 10. Look out. Nice comeback by Randy Robbins to make the open field tackle at about the 28-yard line. Jefferson had a little daylight, though. So John Elway, who got off to just a ferocious start here today, had terrible numbers, now has thrown for 272 yards and has answered back to tie the game on a 54-yard touchdown pass, and now he throws the load over to that man squatting in the Seahawk huddle, David Craig, with 2:10 left in regulation time. The ball at the 28-yard line, and they go right to the shotgun. Scansey to the 36. Tackled by Atwater, and we have 2 minutes left in regulation time. In a tie game.
And Dan Reeves has to be thinking of David Treadwell's attempt at the end of the first half that hit the bar and just fell away. So it's an inch either side. And this game could follow the balance between Seattle and Denver. Both coaches thinking about those kicks.
Denver really has stormed here in the second half. And Seattle's only score in the second half was because of a Denver mistake on the Elway fumble of a center snap from Keith Karts. Well, Seattle has it. Second down at 2. Scansey starts in motion. Kurt Warner is stood up by Mumford, the linebacker, but appears to have the first down out near the 40-yard line.
Just thinking a little bit about the future, Norm Johnson may be the best field goal kicker from 50-plus yards in the league. He is 47% from 50-plus in his career. They don't need a lot of yards to get him in that kind of range. 47% from 50-plus yards. is incredible for a kicker, and he's warming up on the sideline.
Clock is running. 1:39 left in regulation time. John L. Williams in the backfield. He was a first down, 1st and 10. Craig across the middle. That's almost picked off. Randy Robbins was right there, had the ball in his hands as they were trying to get it across the middle for Blades. He's checking his gloves on that one.
The Broncos not putting a lot of pressure. They're content to drop 7 people back in the defensive secondary. And Robbins underneath had the underneath coverage. A mistake on the part of Craig. Take a look at him. He's got deep help as well. It's Kip Corrington, 25, coming over to help out deep, and so that allowed Robbins to sneak underneath the receiver.
Now, normally you would say a wide receiver should make a catch. I really think he should have had that interception.
Yeah, that's a big mistake.
2nd down and 10 with 1:29 left. Clock stops, of course, on the incompleted pass. Big rush. Mecklenburg with the sack. Craig is down. Carl Mecklenburg got through clean, and he's back at the 25-yard line.
And a bit of a surprise because Denver, again, just sent 4 people. They dropped 7 into the secondary, and Mecklenburg does the work. They put him down on the 4-man line. Normally a linebacker, but in the 3rd down passing situations, he goes down. A stunning game in between, and Mecklenburg missed completely.
Timeout on the field right now with 1:22 left in regulation time. Dave Craig to the sideline in a tie ball game, and there you saw them. But a tricky call here, 3rd and 21, deep in your own territory. Watch inside. Craig flush, but gets it out to John L. Williams. Boy, did he try and make things happen as he shook out of a Dennis Smith tackle and a couple of more tackles and brings it out to the 39-yard line. And Denver calls a timeout with 1:07 left. So Denver's going to get the ball back. And we'll see what they do with it right after this timeout. 1:07 left. And Seattle has to give away the football on a punting situation. 4th down and 11. Ruben Rodriguez into the football. Short punt. Hits at the 30, at the 31. They don't blow the play dead, and one of the Seahawks touched the ball. Darren Miller got his hand on it and touched it. Only a 30-yard punt. Elway getting instructions from Dan Reeves on the sideline. With 55 seconds left, and one of the best in the business in this situation will take control of the Bronco offense.
Well, the man that's been his favorite target today and throughout the year is the number 82, Vance Johnson. And so that's who we should be looking for this afternoon. And, of course, Seattle's going to try and double-team him. They've not gotten much action from Mark Jackson on the other side.
Well, this is like Denver at least having last at-bats. In regulation time, Seattle almost has to play for overtime right now. 55 seconds left. They toss, run it, and Winder's got a crease. Out to the 43 to the 44-yard line and a 1st down. Boy, that's a tricky play, Jimmy, flipping the ball like that in traffic.
It's actually an easy play because if it hits the ground, it's an incomplete forward pass and not a fumble.
Elway out of the gun. Michael Young tries to make the catch. They rule it's incomplete at the 44-yard line. Young was already involved in a controversial play today when he made a great catch down the sideline that set up Denver's first score. At first they ruled him out, and then they went to replay and was reversed.
As far as the battles of the kickers are concerned, you've got to like Johnson on the other side of the field from Dan Reeves. As we mentioned earlier, 47% from 50-plus yards. On this side, Treadwell, the young kicker, Dan Reeves decided earlier not to allow him to kick a 50-yard field goal. And so that stat falls in Seattle's favor.
2nd and 10, 30 seconds left in regulation time. Elway going big, Young's wide open. Down to the 10-yard line. 1st and goal, Denver. They'll mark him inside the 10, a 47-yard pass play.
This is the same play that they beat for the touchdown earlier that they won before. Take a look at it. Left side, the pump fake. Then they go downfield. Boyer is just flat-footed there, and so is Jenkins, number 24. And Michael Young makes the big play. Same exact play, different receiver, and Seattle bid on it twice.
19 seconds left in regulation time. Mike Young out of UCLA comes up with the catch, and Elway put it right on his fingertips. A beautiful toss down the field. Good for 47 yards. They have it just inside the Seattle 10 with 19 seconds left. And now, of course, you have to say, do you kick it right now?
Oh, you kick it right at this minute. 19 seconds left, no timeouts remaining. What happens if somebody catches the football and gets caught? You have an opportunity to win the football game. Put your team on the field and kick it through.
No timeouts left for Denver. Treadwell on the day is 0 for 2. This will be a 27-yard field goal attempt when they line it up for him. With 19 seconds left in regulation time. He's had one hit the crossbar. He had one go wide left. All right, the Broncos break the huddle. Gary Kubiak will hold. The spot at the 17-yard line, 27-yard try. To give Denver their first lead of the day. He missed. And really wasn't even close.
David Treadwell, who was 12 of 13 coming in today, just shanks it to the right. Not even close is correct. And the young man is 0 for 3 on the afternoon.
He came into today 12 for 13. As they console him on the sidelines. But he just has to feel just empty right now. Seattle's going to play for overtime as they just take the ball and put it down to the carpet. 10 seconds left. And in a 21-21 back and forth ball game, this one will be decided with an extra period. Overtime in the Kingdom. That young man, David Treadwell, missed from 27 yards with 16 seconds left in regulation time. Overtime from the Kingdom. Seattle will get first crack at it as James Jefferson takes it at his 9. Randy Robbins covers on him out at the 26-yard line. Robbins down on the open field tackle of Jefferson. 16-yard return, and Seattle has the ball first and 10 out over their own 25 at the 26-yard line to start things off in overtime. These two teams have played 2 regular season overtime games against each other, and Dan Reeves and the Broncos are 2-0 against Seattle in overtime. 21-21. Play action fake by Craig. Gets away from the oncoming Holmes. Scrambles to the 30. Carl Mecklenburg is in on the tackle. But Ron Holmes made some pretty good pressure for the Broncos and flushed Craig out of the pocket.
Denver sending just 4 people against David Craig, allowing their secondary to drop 7 and forcing Craig to try to find a hole. That's the reason for the pressure there. He actually had more than enough time to throw the football, but good defensive strategy by Wade Phillips and the Denver Broncos staff.
We want to welcome those of you who have been watching the Patriots and San Francisco 49ers. I'm Jim Donovan along with Jimmy Cefalo. We're in overtime in Seattle's Kingdom. Denver and Seattle 21-21 tie. As David Craig had just an incompleted pass thrown on second down, making it 3rd and 6, the first possession of overtime. Seattle led 14-0. Denver came back, tied the game, 14-14. John Elway fumbled. Seattle got the ball back. David Craig threw to Paul Scansey for a touchdown, but then Elway answered back with a 54-yard touchdown pass to Vance Johnson. Denver got the ball back and missed a 27-yard field goal with 16 seconds left, and we're in overtime. First possession, 3rd and 6. It's complete to Briggs, and that's a first down at the 40-yard line.
This is where Seattle really misses Steve Largent. Just 4 people being rushed at David Craig, dropping everybody back into the zone, and we all know who the best zone pass receiver in football is. That's Steve Largent, but he's up in the press box because of injury. Here, Blades beats Braxton across the middle and picks up the first down, but the strategy is working for the Broncos. They've been getting pressure with only 4 people.
There's Largent, forced to be a spectator. He's in the yellow sweater up in the Seattle Seahawks coaching box. He'll be back in his Seahawk uniform next week. Denver looks like they might have jumped. Ron Holmes, I saw 90 Ron Holmes jump up a little bit. It could have been in the middle of the line, Greg Cragen. But it looks like the Broncos jumped off. Johnny Greer, your referee.
Outside, 90 defense. Still first down.
It was Ron Holmes.
Take a look at the bottom of your screen. Ron Holmes, number 90, with just a little bit of a jump, gets caught in the neutral zone. And Craig, with a good cadence at the line of scrimmage, gets 5 yards in the bank.
Boy, you don't want to give up any yards that way in overtime.
Because for this very reason, though, Norm Johnson, again, 47% from 50-plus yards. He's not far from his range.
So it's 1st and 5 from their own 45-yard line. Play action fake to Warner. John L. Williams cannot make the catch. Carl Mecklenburg was closing on Williams as the play action fake went to Warner, and then they throw it to Williams. Here's the scoreboard now on our 10-minute ticker. San Francisco over New England, 37-20. That's a final from Palo Alto. The Saints win over the Rams. The Giants win over San Diego, and the Cardinals beat the Falcons. And here in the Kingdome, we're in overtime with 12:53 left in a 21-21 game.
The 2 receivers that Seattle likes in this situation, John L. Williams, the fullback, and Paul Scansey, the wide receiver. And that's what Denver will be looking for on this 2nd down pass.
2nd and 5, as Jimmy said, on 2nd down. Let's see what Craig does. Mecklenburg blitzing. Craig going for Blades. Almost pulled it off the fingertips at the 10-yard line. 3rd and 5.
Hey, this is a tremendous throw by David Craig. He gives only one person the opportunity to catch it, and it is Brian Blades, perfectly led downfield. And that's got to be a pass he's got to come up with. In overtime situation, you got to sacrifice a little bit. On the edge of his fingertips, this will go down as a plain drop. Got to dive after that football under these circumstances.
Craig is 20 for 35 today, 213 yards, 2 touchdown passes, 1 interception, as Blades heads out to his wide receiver spot. 3rd and 5 out of the shotgun. Blades has this one for a first down. Into Denver territory at the 48-yard line. So he came right back to him.
Well, that's the right way to do it. They, again, had everybody coming in the line of scrimmage, just 4 people. You see the zone being set up there. And Blades coming in from the backside to make the first down catch. Now they're only about 7 or 8 yards away from the range of Norm Johnson.
Chuck Knox, you bet he's counting off those yardage markers right now to see when they're in range. 1st and 10 from the Denver 44. John L. Williams down to the Denver 41. Ron Holmes is in on the tackle along with Greg Craig in the nose tackle. About a 3-yard gain, 2nd and 7. And always before you are going to attempt an overtime field goal, make sure you load up on the fluids.
I think Norm Johnson's probably not even thinking what he's doing on the sideline. His concentration is simply to get on the field and get a shot at winning this game.
2nd down at 7 from the 41-yard line. Warner and Williams in the backfield, wide split. Wide open. Brian Blades makes a one-handed catch, garners it in, and takes it to the Denver 30-yard line. And a first down. Getting closer.
Well, they're now within Johnson's range, but a great catch this time by Blades coming across the middle. He misses the diving catch a little earlier by not laying out for it. But this is a tough catch coming across the middle. He knows there's zone in there. One-handed catch, led a little bit too far downfield by Craig. But nonetheless, he has redeemed himself for the early miscue.
6 catches, 70 yards for Blades. Signals coming in right now. Oh, a little bit of disagreement there on the sideline as to what they were going to do. Right up over center. Here's Warner. He was 1 tackle away from going all the way and ending it right now. Tyrone Braxton had to fight to bring him down, as Kurt Warner didn't want to go down. He wanted to end it right there.
Well, they break it over to the right side. Brian Millard, 71. Mike Wilson, 75. With a good blocking in front. If it's not for Braxton, Warner gets into the end zone and ends this thing.
Jimmy, they're going to kick it right now. Johnson is on the field.
Well, with a kicker like Johnson, we mentioned one of the most accurate in NFL history. It's no wonder he'll go from 40 yards, however.
A 40-yard field goal attempt.
This may be a bit premature. I'm not sure I agree with this call.
Whistle, and we might have a timeout. Denver calls a timeout. We'll be back and see if Norm Johnson can connect with a 40-yard winning field goal in overtime for the Seahawks in a moment. On their 2 closest competitors in the AFC West. If Norm Johnson can connect here, he would cut the Denver lead down to 1 game. You got a 2-game shift riding on this kick.
If Denver could win this football game, they'd be able to play 500 for the rest of the season. It would be tough for either the Raiders or the Seahawks to catch them. And so, although this is just week 7 of the NFL season, this may be the deciding factor as we go down the line for the rest of the year.
Now, the only reason I could think that they might want to kick it right now is because earlier in the game they were in this position and were trying to get closer to kick a field goal, and they fumbled. So they have been prone to cough it up here this afternoon. Here's Johnson. 7 for 10 on the season. Kemp will hold. They had a field goal go awry today on a fumbled snap. For the win. He missed it. At the last second, that ball hooked left. So each team has had a chance to win this thing. The Broncos on a 27-yard field goal in regulation with just seconds left, and this one by Johnson in overtime.
But again, we go back to the point. There was 2nd down and short yardage. Overtime has just begun, and you put your kicker into the position of trying to kick from 40 yards away. Yes, they've got a lot of confidence in him. He's a great kicker, but wait a minute. Let's get the football a little bit closer and make it a bit easier for Norm Johnson.
Well, that subject will be debated if Seattle goes on to lose this game, even if they don't. Why did they kick it there? Elway's been red hot in the second half. 9:48 left in overtime. Bobby Humphrey is hit quickly. Vernon Maxwell, the linebacker, is over, along with Darren Como to make the tackle of Humphrey. Humphrey has a touchdown on a gutsy 4th down plunge from inside the 1. Earlier today, he's playing with extremely sore ribs.
So John Elway has had the best day of this season in 1989. 27th in the NFL in passing, but look at those numbers.
It didn't start out very good for him, but he hung right in there and racked up big yardage in the second half. 2nd down and 9. Elway throws in a lot of coverage, but Mark Jackson is there to make the catch. It's a Denver 1st down out over their own 35-yard line. The coverage was made by Dwayne Harper, but Denver has what they want, a 1st down, and the drive continues.
Yeah, but watch this perfect throw. It's got to be that way. Elway looks off Moyer inside and gets the ball deep into the pocket to prevent the defensive back Harper from coming over and making the play. That is all John Elway's on.
Earlier in the game, and I say this for people who have just joined us, Elway had a lot of pressure on him by the Seattle pass rush, but Denver's offensive line has done a great job here in the second half. Humphrey, no gain. Joe Nash is there, the nose tackle, 72. Nash and Karts get into a little push and shove match.
Well, it has been Rufus Porter in that first half that gave the Bronco offensive front fits, getting after Elway, sacking him twice in the first half. But what Denver did was to put a running back over on that side to help the offensive tackle Perry, and that's taken the pressure off of John Elway. What they have sacrificed is another pass receiver into the pattern.
Jackson is out on the top of your screen. Johnson is inside him. It was a 54-yard strike to Vance Johnson late in the game that tied it up. Elway on 2nd and 10. Almost picked off by Patrick Hunter as he tried to get the ball to his tight end Clarence Kay, who was well down the field at the Seattle 40-yard line. But Patrick Hunter almost had it.
Elway just missed hitting him on this pattern. Watch the zone as you look at it from the Seattle side of the ball. They rush only 4 people, drop everybody back in the coverage, and it is Hunter who comes off his man inside to make the play on Kay. If Elway can sneak that one in, then the Broncos are in a position to try a field goal of their own.
So now it's on John Elway, wide-eyed, 3rd and 10. Out of the shotgun. Steve Sewell in the backfield with him. Flag is down. And Elway throws it away. Let's check out the penalty. Holding Denver. Seattle should decline it and get the ball back.
Now the special teams come into play, Jim, and Rusty Tillman, the special teams coach of Seattle, likes to say that he thinks his team should win 2 football games.
Offense. It's declined. 4th down.
As we take a listen to the penalty, his team should win 2 games for him every year. They won last week by blocking an extra point attempt by the San Diego Chargers as time ran out, and now they're in the same kind of spot.
You saw Rusty bending over on the sideline. That's Mike Curran, and that's James Jefferson, and they almost did get to the punt. Darren Miller was closest to getting to it. What a great punt by Curran under pressure. Jefferson a fair catch. That's a 52-yard punt when the chips were all on. 1st and 10. Seattle's 2nd possession of overtime with 7:29 left in the overtime. Craig down the middle. That's picked off by Dennis Smith with a lot of blocking in front of him. To the 10. To the 9-yard line. He was going for his tight end, Robert Tyler, and Dennis Smith comes up with the interception and a 28-yard run back. And the Broncos appear to be ready to try and kick the winning field goal right away.
Well, for those of us who just joined us, it was Treadwell who missed a kick from 27 yards away with 16 seconds remaining in regulation, but it is Craig right now who's discussing with himself a clear overthrow, trying to get it to Tyler over the middle of the field.
Hey, I told him.
Dennis Smith with the interception.
Take a look at it. Tyler getting down the middle of the field, the tight end, number 87. And it's Craig with just too much onto the football, a clear overthrow, and that's the danger part of the field. When you overthrow it in the middle, when you give that what they call a double zone, deep safeties in the middle of the field, and Smith gets his 2nd interception of the year. He actually had Tyler open for just a second. Over the linebacker, it was Dennis in 55 who forced him to throw it a bit long.
Denver's been so proud of their entire defense, but very proud of their safeties, rookie Steve Atwater and Dennis Smith. And they have played well today. And Dave Craig, who has had a pretty good ball game, throws that interception right there. But in the 2nd half, he's been victimized a couple of times, and now David Treadwell gets a second life. It's a 27-yard field goal attempt. That's the distance he missed from with 16 seconds left in regulation time. He's 0 for 3 today for the win. He's got it. There's a flag down. It's against Seattle. The Broncos pull it out in overtime, and that's a very relieved David Treadwell as Chuck Knox walks off. The Denver Broncos on a 27-yard field goal pull it out after they were down all afternoon. This is their first lead of the afternoon. 24-21. The Broncos go to 6-1 and now have that big, giant 3-game lead in the AFC Western Division. And for the Seattle Seahawks, they go to 0-3 here in the Kingdome.
David Treadwell finally gets one through, 0 for 3 before the kick. He was a free agent a year ago in the Denver camp, cut because Rich Carlos was the kicker. They kept him here. Signed with Phoenix this past year, and then because of a holdout from Carlos, it was Treadwell who came over in a trade with the Cardinals. He kicks it through, to put Denver's record at 6-1.